280,000 vehicles per day. Ito ang sukat ng EDSA. Ang intersection ng Mega Manila at ng 25 milyong residente nito. I would like to acknowledge the presence of our minority leader, Senator Drilon. um, Paano nga ba natin hahatiin ang EDSA para sa mga motorista at commuter? Slice a bigger piece of motorists and you leave thousands of commuters stranded. Carve a bigger chunk for commuters and you leave hundreds of motorists stuck in traffic. I can feel your frustrations, everyone who are here. I mean, I'm sure we were all at some point, well, every day victimized by traffic. Pero parang kahit anong solusyon, eh, wala pa rin nangyayari at batikos ang natatanggap ng ating mga namumuno. Such was the case with the divisive provincial bus ban, which will be the first part of this hearing. To recap, the policy was composed of two parts. City buses were compelled to stay within the yellow line, while provincial buses were exiled to Laguna, Valenzuela, and Pitex. The Taguig ITX will be the next piece of this puzzle. The results, the result was absurd. Private motorists had 3 EDSA lanes all to themselves, but only if they could pass by the spillovers of the yellow lane choke points. And perhaps it could have been a success for the MMDA, who could have claimed that they achieved the 2.44 minute per kilometer reduction in travel time stipulated in their 2019 budget. But it was certainly not a happy conclusion for commuters who watched the cars pass by while their bus crawled. Pinakamalungkot ang mga probinsyano na apektado dito. Sabi mismo sa datos ng MMDA na binigay nila nung nakaraang hearing, halos 400,000 ang pasahero papunta at paluwas ng probinsya araw-araw. Kung ilalagay natin ang mga terminal sa labas ng Maynila, tiyak na sila ang magdadala ng dagdag pasakit nito. Kung hindi naman provincial bus ban, ano ang sagot? Ano nga ba? Naglabasan ang mga proposals nitong mga nagdaan na linggo. Do we need to add more point-to-point premium buses? Mas mainam ba ang one-way scheme o di kaya ay car brand coding scheme? Do we need emergency powers to get things moving? We will pick up where we left off in the previous hearing. Nasaan ang master plan para sa trapiko? Hindi lang sa EDSA o sa Mega Manila, kundi sa buong Pilipinas. All the veins and arteries of Mega Manila and other highly urbanized cities are already clogged with congestion. Where's the Great Philippine Transport System Master Plan, for which we have already shelled out 110 million pesos in taxes for consulting services? And since MMDA asked for research-based proposals to solve traffic, we have assembled for this hearing a brain trust of engineers, architects, planners, and commuters for you to consult. For all participants, just remember that this is an open discussion, not a public execution. The latter part of this hearing deals with the legislative component of this inquiry in aid of legislation. Specifically, it concerns the revival of the so-called Emergency Powers Bill. Without preempting further discussion in this bill, I will set some preconditions for the bill's consideration. This may sound familiar. 1. It must be tied to a traffic action plan with targets and deadlines. No accountability, no deal. Siyempre, pag meron tayong kapangyarihan, mas malaki ang ating tungkulin at responsibilidad. Second, it must be fiscally responsible. The bill is not a credit card to buy all of our wish list if it won't work. It is closer in nature to a Public Works Act, which contains a detailed list of projects and sources of appropriations. Hindi tayo dapat mabaon sa utang na hanggang sa ating mga kaapu-apuhan ay ating babayaran. Finally, there must be an FOI seal of approval. Kailangan bukas sa lahat ng gustong magtanong ang libro ng mga proyekto. These conditions are not unreasonable. We have to make sure that any grant of emergency powers is placed in responsible hands. Even better, if our existing laws can be harmonized with creative transport plans without need for new powers. No less than the Constitution assures us of an improved quality of life for all. This is not just poetry. Simply put, we all deserve better. We are here today to claim that better life for all. Ngayong araw, subukan nating hanapin ang mas maginhawang buhay para sa lahat. I would like to welcome and thank our resource persons for their presence today. Let me begin by acknowledging the presence of Secretary Tugade. Thank you, sir. We missed you, but we're happy that you're here today. And of course, Chairman Danny Lim, thank you for your presence. And may we ask the rest to please introduce themselves. Beginning with you, Sec. De Leon.
Magandang umaga po. Mark De Leon po of Road Sector DOTR.
Good morning po, Madam Chair. Timothy Batan po, DOTR Railways.
Giovanni Lopez po, Project Implementation Procurement DOTR. Magandang umaga po.
Magandang umaga po, Jason Salvador, PITX.
Good morning po, William Howe, Valenzuela Gateway Complex Terminal.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Attorney Bona Obra, or Santa Rosa Integrated Terminal.
Professor Grace Gorospe Hamon for Move Metro Manila.
Louis Egan from Elegan Associates.
Magandang umaga po, Gwen De Vera po mula sa UP College of Law.
Jago, Transport Consultant.
Good morning po, Primitivo Cal, Transport Engineer.
Good morning, Elvira Medina, National Center for Commuter Safety and Protection.
I would like to acknowledge also the presence of Congressman Edgar Sarmiento from the 1st District of Samar. Salamat po, sir. I know you're going to share something with us this morning.
Good morning po, Engineer Sares, Toll Regulatory Board.
Good morning, Arnel Linton from the Quezon City Government.
Good morning po, Joe P. Simondak, Southern Luzon Bus Operators Association.
Magandang umaga po. Romel Manalo po ng Cavite Batangas Transport Service Cooperative and spokesperson ng United Cavite Provincial Bus Association.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Elmira Caesido from the Government Procurement Policy Board.
Good morning, Madam Chair. I'm Alex Jagge, Executive Director of the Provincial Bus Operators.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Attorney Joseph Desus assisting Mr. Yage on legal matters.
Good morning po. I'm Manuel Bonuan from San Miguel Corporation, South Tollways Corporation.
Good morning po. Reynaldo Pangilinan po from LRMC.
Good morning, Madam Chair. I'm Ping Alfonso from LRMC.
Magandang umaga po, Madam Chair. Ador G. Canlas, DPW's NCR.
Mayong buntag, magandang umaga sa inyo lahat. Martin Delgra, LTFRB.
Good morning, sir, ma'am. Jojo Garcia, GM MMD.
Okay. Siguro sa pagdinig na ito, dahil sa kauna-unang pagkakataon ay meron din tayong panauhin mula sa Kongreso na merong proposal para sa atin. Bilang courtesy, dahil ating pong counterpart din sa transport sector, nais po natin marinig si Congressman Sarmiento. Meron daw siyang proposal para sa atin. Alam niyo po, kami po legislative branch, pero lahat naman tayo ay gustong mag-ambag para makatulong sa daloy ng trapiko. Ito po ay kanyang suwestyon, bagamat gusto din natin marinig mula kay Chairman Lim at saka kay Secretary Tugade, yung sa kanila naman mamaya. So unahin po natin si Congressman Sarmiento. Sir, good morning.
Magandang umaga, Madam Chair. Salamat sa pagkakataon. Ako po ay concurrent chairman ng Committee on Transportation. Nung ako po ay napili, ang una-una pong pinag-usapan namin ni Speaker Alan Cayetano ay gawin po ang nararapat na mabigyan solusyon man lang ang problema natin sa EDSA, lalo-lalo na ang traffic at ang mass public transportation system. Nung sinabi niyo po ito sa akin, agad naman po ginawa ko ang trabaho ko. Kinausap ko po ang executive, si Secretary Artugade, kung ano pong balak nila sa problema. Kami nag-usap-usap at nagkaroon po ng pares na ideya. At ang hiningi ko kay Secretary Art, nabigyan po ako ng tao na ahawak talaga on the specific purpose. Binigay niya naman si Yusek Mark De Leon. Kinausap ko rin po ang FMDA at ito pong konsepto namin, Madam Chair, allow me to present. Ito po ang EDSA ngayon. Sinasabi po natin, this is 23 kilometers. Ang pinag-usapan po namin ni Speaker ay itong low-lying fruit, immediate po. Because if we talk about infrastructure, it's going to take years, napakatagal. Ang usapan po natin, itong EDSA, ito po ngayon ang MRT3, itong blue na kulay po. Ito naman po ang pinag-usapan namin, proposal po. Ito pong South Lane, North Lane. 5 lanes pupuntang South, 5 lane pupuntang North. Ang balak po natin ay itong si Lane 1, malapit po sa MRT3, ay gawin po itong dedicated lane. Ito naman 2, 3, 4, ito is a private lane. Ang lane 5 naman ay sa city bus lane. Ito na, I think, Madam Chair, members of the Committee on Services, ito yung napaka-importante. So from time to time, nagbe-breakdown po ang MRT3. Medyo matagal na, 19 years na po itong MRT3. At nakikita natin, overcapacitized po siya. No? Kung umaga, peak time, ang dami pong tao nag-iintay ng train kasi medyo matagal po ang tinatawag natin na headway. Kung dito, ilalagay po natin, madali lang pong trabaho. Ano pong overall concept natin? Ang concept po, kung titingnan yung EDSA ngayon, nagsasabay-sabay ang buses. Dito po sa gagawin natin, tinatawag po ito centralized, synchronized, and predictable bus dispatching system. Itong lane 1, iikot lang pong bus, sample lang po itong Valenzuela Integrated Terminals, ihemplo lang po ito, iikot lang po siya, parang carousel po. Ngayon, kung pupunta naman pa sa ibang direksyon, kagaya po niya, Madam Chair, yung representation lang po yan ng ibang route rationalization na pag-uusapan na paplanuhin pa ng Department of Transportation. Pag pupunta po kayo ng Fairview, ililipat po kayo ng bus. Ibig sabihin, makikita kagad natin ang mga bus na kasama sa sistema. Kaya ito rito sa pinag-uusapan, magkakaroon po tayo ng bus consolidation, magkakaroon pa tayo ng route rationalization, centralized fare collection. Itong lane 1, ulitin natin, ito po ay dedicated for express bus. At pinaplano po natin 5 stop, express po ito. Lanes 2, 3, and 4, private. Lanes 5, city bus. Tapos ang lane 6 naman, yan po ang pedestrian. Ngayon, ito pong EDSA ngayon, next slide please. Kung mapapansin niyo po, sa buong mundo, ang number 7 na po ngayon, ang pinaka-traffic. Masakit man, pero ayaw po natin maging number 1. Parang hindi na po ata maganda. Dito naman sa Asia, we're coming in as number 5. Sa Southeast Asia naman, si Philippines number 1 na. Before it was Thailand, followed by Indonesia, then the Philippines or Manila specifically. Ngayon, bumaliktad na po, Philippines na po number 1. Time index 44 minutes, traffic index 196 minutes. Ibig sabihin, almost 4 times po sa expected na travel time nawawala po sa tao bawat way. One way lang po ito. Susunod na slide po. Ang atin naman recommended na mga solution. Ito pinag-usapan po ng executive, pinisenta po sa atin, Madam Chair, as a member of the branch of legislation, itong issue na talagang nakikita natin na problema. Outdated urban planning, wala na po tayong magagawa niyan. High population, andyan na po yan. Masyado pong drastic increase ng four-wheel vehicles kasi sa tao po, Madam Chair, ang pag-iisip, kung gusto mo bumiyahe, bumili po tayo ng sasakyan kasi wala nga po tayong mass public transportation system. Andyan na po ang traffic congestion, road network and other needed infrastructures. Andyan na po ang lack of efficient mass transportation. At ito po ang pupuntang direction po natin. At dito po, compliant po tayo sa NEDA, itong National Transportation Policy. At ito naman tinatawag natin na Philippine Transportation System Master Plan. Ang solusyon po na ginagawa ngayon ng executive, yan po, number one, nagsisimula na po tayo, kung mapapansin niyo, Madam Chair, andyan na po ang PNP, Highway Patrol, nagtutulungan sila ng MMDA. Ginagawa po natin yan. Number two po, andito na ang instruction ng Presidente sa DILG, yung 60 days clearing ng lahat po ng kalsada. At ito sana nakikiusap tayo, Madam Chair, sa publiko na dapat pong kalsada ay gamitin po sa tama. Kailangan po gamitin po sa sasakyan. Huwag pong paradahan. Sana man tumulong ang tao. Kasi ngayon po with the new system, yung Waze application, dinadala po tayo kung saan-saan no, na shortcut o malalapit. Kanya lang pagpasok po, hindi po predictable kasi maraming bara. Hindi ito nakikita ng system. Ano? That is now where the problem is. No? Andito naman sa rail, ang efficiency naman po ng MRT3 and pinag-usapan nila Secretary Art, gusto po natin ipasok ng Dalian train para lapitan po ang tinatawag natin na headway. However, ito pong bus centralized synchronized dispatching system, makakatulong po ito kasi pag gusto po gawin executive yung rehabilitation ng MRT3, gagamitin po natin ang infrastructure ng MRT3, doon po sasakay ang tao. Kanya lang may option na po. Gumamit sila either train o dito sa bus. Kakaunting modification lang po, plinano po yan ng executive, kakaunti na pong adjustment pwede na pong gawing agad. Andyan rin po yung tinatawag nila na intermodal network, kasana po ang route rationalization. Buong-buo na po ito. Next slide please. Itong short term po natin, 1 year, mid-term 3 years, long term po, that's more or less 10 years. Next slide please. Ito na po ang balak, hindi na lang po natin iisa-isahin. Ano? Pero maliwanag po, may plano na po ang executive which will be presented to you as well, Madam Chair. Kaya yung una-una po sana natin, maybe on the actual ground, no, titingnan po natin ang proposal kung mamarapatin nyo with the executive para masimulan na po natin, mabigyan naman po natin ng solusyon because we have to start po from somewhere. Next slide please. Ayan po, mayroon po silang mid-term, mayroon po silang long-term. Ano? Pinisinta po nila sa atin ito nung pinag-usapan, and I believe so they will be furnishing you a copy of as well on the different solutions that they have. Next slide please. Yan po ang long-term nila, kasama na po ang subway. Ito po, ang ultimate roadmap po ng Department of Transportation is the volume reduction. And we can only reduce the volume if we have the efficiency of the mass public transportation system, wherein the train and the buses will be working hand in hand. Pag nakilos po natin yan ng epektibo po, worry ko, this time, the riding public can now have the choice choosing between mass public transportation and their vehicles. Sa Bogota po, next slide please. Sa Bogota po, hindi lang, aywan ko kung andito sa slide kung makikita natin. Ayan po sa Bogota. Yan po ang gusto natin mangyari, Madam Chair. Kung makikita nyo po, the bus runs on the innermost lane. Wala lang tayo magagawa. Andyan ang MRT3 infrastructure. Gawin na po natin yan. Yan po ang ambisyon natin. This is Bogota, where nagpunta po tayo, tiningnan natin, obserbahan natin, napakaganda. No? So I'm hoping that this will be implemented as soon as time possible. Yan po ang gagawin ng executives. Sana naman makonsider kaagad ang plano, magawa kaagad kasi napaka-importante po. Again, the traffic is so bad. I'm hoping that for me, this is the most logical approach to the problem. I'm hoping that executives this time will really execute it for the good of our constituents in Manila. Thank you po, Madam Chair, sa pagkakataon. Magandang umaga po.
Thank you, Congressman Sarmiento. We appreciate that initiative. Unang-una, sabi ko nga, legislative branch kayo. Dapat hindi naman talaga kayong gumagawa ng traffic plan, pero kahit papano ay meron kayong napresenta at sinasabi mo nga in line with the traffic plan that the national government has. So later on, we'd like to hear also from Secretary Tugade. I would like to acknowledge the presence of Senator Tolentino. Thank you, sir. Good morning. So for the next, I think perhaps we'll give the courtesy to Secretary Tugade if you have any opening statements. But before that, may we ask the resource persons who weren't here last time, yung mga wala po dito dati, na tumayo ngayon para manumpa.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this proceeding? Thank you. Madam Chair, for the record, all those who took their oath answered in the affirmative.
Thank you. Secretary Tugade, good morning, sir.
Magandang umaga ho, Madam Chair. Nagpipigay-pugay at galang po ako sa ating kagalang-galang na Chairman, Senator Grace po, sa ating mga kasamang mga senadores na nandito ngayon, si Senator Frank Drilon at si Senator Tolentino. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Kami ho'y nagpapasalamat sa imbitasyon na kung saan hinagad ninyong maghayag kami ng aming mga kaalaman at plano na nauugma at tutumbukin yung tinatawag po natin na emergency plan. Kami ho'y nagpapasalamat sa imbitasyon at kami ho'y umaasa na yung pulong-pulong na ito ay magbunga ng isang maganda at matamis na prutas para sa masagana at komportableng pamumuhay ng Pilipino. By way of backgrounder, let me just walk you through a little bit of past learnings. Nasabi po natin noon na yung tinatawag natin na emergency power ay may unique features. Una ho, ito ho'y emergency power na hindi pang forever. Ito ho yung emergency power na sukat sa taon, 2, 3 taon. Kaya nga ba't kung ating pag-iisipan at bigyan tanaw yung nakaraan, kung nabigyan lang sana ng emergency power noon, dapat ngayon, rinerepaso na natin yung nagawa kung napagbigay. Bagamat sabi nga nila, wala hong huli sa tamang gawain, kami ho'y umaasa na ngayon ay mabigyan tugon, pansin at katunayan yung emergency power na aming hinihingi. Kung yung emergency power na aming hinihingi ay hindi forever, hindi rin ho ito absolute. Pagkat yung emergency power na hinihingi namin, naiiwan yung oversight power sa Kongreso na tignan at silipin at gabayan yung pagganap ng aming emergency power. Nandiyan din ho yung Korte Suprema na kung saan, kung meron mga legal issues, pwedeng dalhin doon. Nandiyan din ho yung tawag natin na freedom of information na nanawagan ng ating chairman na kailangan tuparin at bigyan buhay yung tinatawag na freedom of information at hangarin po namin na tuparin yung tinatawag na freedom of information. Tatlong kadahilanan ho kung bakit sabi namin kailangan yung emergency power. Sabi ho namin, ang emergency power ho ay magbibigay ng immediately we can adopt policy direction which would normally require amendment of existing laws and ordinances. Kung meron hong emergency power, the long process of legislation, pwede hong maibsan yan upang sa ganon, mapagbigyan pansin at tugon agad yung pangangailangan rather than wait for the tedious long process of legislation. Pangalawa ho, ito ho para to fast-track procurement and right-of-way acquisition and relocation processes. Ang pangatlo ho, so that for us to be immediately be able to implement our high priority projects. Hindi po namin hinihingi yung mga proyektong wala dun sa listahan ng priority projects. Mga 75, mahigit 75 po yan. Yung high impact, magkaroon ng shorter gestation, at magkaroon din ng tinatawag na partial availability. Ito ho yung mga bagay-bagay na hindi sinasabi namin for the first time. Nasabi ho namin yan noon pa man, noon nag-umpisa tayong mag-usap at magpulong-pulong nung pinag-uusapan yung emergency power noong 2016 at 2017. Ngayong araw na to, nandito kami dumudulo at ipipresenta namin several parts of our presentation. Number one, hinihingihan niyo kami ng plano dun sa mga infrastruktura na kung saan ilalagay namin yung mga gastusin, yung mga timetable, meron po yan, isusumito po namin yan. Ito ho, apat na sektor. Una ho, yung sariles. Pangalawa, yung road sector. Pangatlo, yung aviation. At pang-apat, yung maritime. Nakabuod ho sa aming balangkas na ipipresenta yung timetable at kung magkano yung gastusin at kung saan. Ipapakita rin ho namin yung tinatawag na epekto at impact sa tinatawag na efforts to decongest EDSA. Magpapakita rin po kami ng mga plano na kung saan ipapakita namin yung equipment at facilities na rinirekomenda at sinuhestyon namin na gawin. Gawin sa lalong madaling panahon. At higit sa lahat, gagawin po namin at ipipresenta namin sa inyo yung mga polisiya at proseso na inaakala namin dapat bigyan tugon ng emergency power, wag na hong tumbukin yung tinatawag na long process of legislation. Ito ho yung magiging foundation at plataforma gabay ng tinatawag na traffic management. Kaya nga po, Madam Chair, nandito ho lang kami, kumpleto upang gawin yung presentasyon. With the permission of the Chair and the members of the committee, allow me to call on our USEC for rail na siya ho ang magbabalangkas ng mga infrastrukturang tugma sa mga proyekto na sa rail sector.
Secretary Tugade, maraming salamat po. Dun sa mga nabanggit ninyo, may mga nais lamang akong klaruhin. Unang-una, sinasabi ninyo, kung napagbigyan lamang ay siguro mas magiging maayos na ang ating sistema ngayon. Marahil, oo, marahil rin hindi. Sinasabi ninyo ang tatlong bagay na pwedeng maibigay kung may emergency powers, yung procurement na mas mabilis, yung right of way, at saka yung harmonizing laws of the different ordinances. Nais ko pong klaruhin ang mga bagay na to. Unang-una, nung kayo po ay pumunta rito noon at hiningan namin kayo ng listahan, kami po ay nabigyan nga ninyo ng listahan na ganito kakapal. Subalit ang listahan na yon ay hindi akma o tugma sa traffic lamang. Kaya hiningan namin kayo ng specific na talagang maisusukat natin para sa trapiko. Unang-una, isa sa mga examples na binigay ninyo, refurbishment of perimeter fences and gates under the Subic Bay International Airport, procurement of facial recognition software for the Office of Transportation Security, units of fire trucks and ambulance for the Clark International Airport. Mahalaga po ang bagay na yan. Pero hindi naman talagang masasabi natin na dapat kasama sa emergency powers pa. Pangalawa, pag pinuntahan natin ang website ng MMDA or DOTR, sa DOTR, nakikita natin yung mga ibang na-procure ninyo. Secretary Tugade, are you aware of the alternative modes of procurement that is allowed in our RA 9184? Secretary Tugade, tanong ko po sa inyo. Alam niyo po, merong alternative modes of procurement, hindi po ba?
Alam po namin po yan.
Okay. Gusto ko pong linawin para po sa ating mga kababayan. Yung sinasabi ninyong maaaring naibsan na ang sitwasyon ng traffic kung sakasakaling may emergency power, sabi ko nga marahil. Pero may mga bagay rin na hindi kailangan na sana naayos na rin ninyo. Halimbawa, yung ating mga train, hindi ninyo kailangan ng emergency powers para magkaroon ng procurement. In fact, merong executive order ang ating presidente. Are you familiar with Executive Order number 34.
Yes, ma'am. Insofar as MRT3 is concerned, in fact, that was adopted as we pursue the rehabilitation and maintenance of MRT3.
So, ibig sabihin, yung mga direct procurement, yung mga repeat order, negotiated procurement, lahat naman yan na sinasabi ninyong dapat kasama sa emergency powers ay nagagawa na ninyo ngayon, hindi po ba?
Pero mapapabilis. So, mamaya ho, kung mararapatin ho without meaning to preempt our discussion.
Hindi po mapapabilis, pareho lang 30 days kung sa tamang proseso na mapapaikli ng 10 days. Pero yung 30 days nga na yun, hindi nyo na nagagawa eh. Sa ngayon ha, nakita ko sa inyong website, ang dami na ninyong na-procure under the alternative modes of procurement. Hindi po ba? May mga listahan kayo, may mga lumabas na nga, katulad nga nito, ito yung mga nabili na, marami kayong mga nabili na nakalagay sa inyong website na pwede natin balikan mamaya. Katulad niyan, sa Dalian train, USEC Batan, ilan ang gumaganang train na galing sa Dalian? Ilan ba dapat ang train na yan? Ang total na in-order natin, ilan?
Madam Chair, ang total po 48 na mga bagon. Sa kasalukuyan po mula nung nag-assume si Sumitomo Mitsubishi Heavy na suspend po tayo ng operations habang pinag-aaralan po nila yung maintenance requirements ng mga Dalian trains.
Kaya nga, so ilan sa Dalian train? Di ba 16 trains dapat yan? 48 coaches?
48 po, divided by 3, so 12 3-car trains po. Or 16 4-car trains.
Kaya nga, so 16.
Four
Okay. Out of that, how many is actually operational?
Currently po, wala po, Madam Chair.
Ilan?
Wala po currently, Madam
So
Chair.
wala. Sa tinagal-tagal ng panahon na tayo nagkita dito, 2016, wala pa rin dun sa Dalian trains ang gumagana ngayon.
Yes po, Madam
Peak
Chair.
hours, ilan ang train ninyo? 12, 13?
15 po, Madam Chair.
15. Ilan dapat?
20 po, Madam Chair.
Okay. So ito lang ang sinasabi ko eh. Secretary Tugade, lahat po tayo ay biktima kasi talaga ng traffic. At wala po ditong nagpipigil sa kung ano man ang maaaring maging solusyon. Kaya lamang po, pare-pareho tayo may responsibilidad. Huwag po nating sisihin na dahil walang emergency powers ay hindi natin nagawa ang dapat nating gawin. Sapagkat dito lamang sa train na to, na hindi kinailangan ng emergency powers, ay ni isa dun sa Dalian train na matagal na naming sinasabing napakahirap na gawing tugma sa ating train system ay ipinilit pa rin. Kaya hanggang ngayon, 3 years after from the last administration, hindi pa rin gumagana yan. USEC Batan, alam ko how frustrated you are because you have to work with something that is difficult to work with. So let me ask Secretary Tugade, are we seeking any compensation or damages from Dalian for the trouble that they've caused us?
Yes, ma'am, that is being explored as we are seeking to make sure that as many Dalian can be operational as possible. Linawagin ko lang ho, alam po natin na yung Dalian situation was not caused by us. Nandiyan po yan at nadatnan namin. Pangalawa ho, yung pag-aasikaso sa Dalian dun sa taon na ilinagi namin dito, meron ho mga ginawang efforts at pamaraan na kung saan kailangan iporsi at ipunto yung mga contractual commitments. Kaya nga ho, nagkaroon ng tinatawag natin na delay dahil sa mga berya. Pangatlo ho, yung sinasabing operational, hindi po totoo na tama ho, hindi operational ngayon. Pero meron na hong 3 tren na pwede nang gamitin ngayon. Pagkat ho, yung tren bago maging operational, merong requirement na kailangan tumakbo yan, TJ, ng 1,000 kilometers bago ho ma-certify na pwedeng gamitin. So, ginagawa ho namin itong prosesong ito.
Oo nga, pero, di ba, wag niyo naman kasing sisihin na parang dahil wala nga yung emergency powers, hindi nagagawa yung mga bagay na yan. Naniniwala kayo, alam ninyo, hindi kailangan ng emergency powers para ayusin yan, di ba?
Ma'am, at this time, we are not saying that we need emergency power to address MRT3. In fact, in truth and in fact, we have addressed MRT3 without invoking emergency power. Yung MRT3 po yun. Kaya nga ho, nagkaroon ng mga repair, nagkaroon ng awards sa rehabilitation and maintenance. We are not saying at this time.
But what you're saying, it's the rail is part of the plan for emergency powers. I'm saying the low-hanging fruit was that if the MRT was rehabilitated on time and we had the proper trains there, we didn't even need emergency powers.
Madam, if I may, when I say rails is needed to address the congestion here, when we say rails, we are not limiting the discussion purely and only to MRT3. Kasama ho dyan yung LRT1, LRT2, kasama ho dyan yung plano sa subway, kasama ho dyan yung extension sa Masinag. Marami ho. Hindi ho kaisa-isang MRT3 yan.
Okay. Sabihin na natin hindi lang MRT3, pero sabihin niyo sa akin, itong executive order ng ating Pangulo, kasi siya mismo frustrated na, di ba? So, it provides the government agencies no longer need to get an exemption from the Government Procurement Policy Board in order to abandon public bidding or avail of alternative modes of procurement. Ito yung mga maiiba ha. For the Republic Act 9184 puts a strict period of action on procurement. For goods, 4 months. For infrastructure, for contracts 50 million and below, 3.7 months. For contracts above 50 million, 4.8 months. Consulting services, 5.6 months. Those are very reasonable time frames that was given. Kung bibilangin natin from last year, edi dapat ang dami na rin nakuha. And yet, wala pa rin nakikitang pagbabago. So, RA 8975, which prohibits lower courts, except the Supreme Court, from issuing TROs and right-of-way cases. So, meron din naman eh. Meron tayong recourse sa ngayon. Ngayon, kaya ko naman ito binabanggit sapagkat kung talagang kailangan, bakit naman hindi natin ibibigay? Pero, wag naman natin sisihin na kaya hindi ninyo nagagawa yung trabaho nyo dahil wala kayo niyan. Dahil kahit wala yan, ang dami na rin ninyo sanang nagawa. Halimbawa na lang ha, itong LRT1 train, papuntang Cavite. Ang sinasabi right-of-way issue, di ba? Pero ang totoo nun, pagdating naman sa right-of-way issues, ito nga si Senator Tolentino, meron din ditong proposal for emergency powers para nga dito sa right-of-way. The government is required to undergo a negotiated sale within 30 days. Ang government, pwede naman talagang kunin yung mga lupain na yan kung kinakailangan. Kaya natagalan ng right-of-way ng LRT1. Bakit? Dahil ba hindi ninyo na-procure yung mga lupain o dahil iniba ninyo ang ruta?
Bago ko sagutin yan kung maaari lang po. Una ho, wala ho kami sinasabing wala kami nagawa kasi walang emergency power. Wala ho kung sinabing ganyan. Ang sinasabi ko, kung maaari kong sabihin, mas marami ho sana kami nagawa kung meron hong emergency
sige,
power.
ganito na lang po, Secretary. Ano pong pwede ninyong nagawa kung meron?
Kaya nga po, sasabihin ho namin, sabi ko kanina pagkatapos ng aking opening statement, kung mararapatin ho, ibibigay ko yung floor with due respect and with the permission of the chair to present the plans. Makikita ho nyo yung plano doon sa Riles na hindi lang limitado sa MRT3. Samot-sari ho mga Riles na plano. Ang usapin ho sa emergency power, hindi ho nauugma sa isang pamaraan na kung isang procurement lamang. Marami din ho kaming sasabihin at meron kaming sasabihin kung mararapatin mamaya na meron kaming problema na kung saan bagamat merong mga ruling na kailangan pumunta ka sa Korte Suprema na antala ho yung aming proyekto dahilan sa mga kaganapan sa mga husgado. Sasabihin ho namin yan.
Okay.
Kaya nga po sabi ko kanina, kung mararapatin po, Madam Chair.
Pamarapatin ko po kayo, pero alam mo, hindi ko pwede pong palusutin to na palusot eh. Unang-una, yung FTI, hindi pa nauumpisahan, hindi pa nagagawa. Yun nga sinasabi nating LRT1, wala pa rin. Yung NAIA Consortium, na matagal na sa NEDA, sinasabi nyo nasa NEDA. Alam nyo, Secretary, pag ito po ay siguro kung nakita talaga ninyo na kailangan, na-certify sana po ito na bill na urgent. Si Secretary Dominguez, hindi po naman sa pagkukumpara, pero ito po yung totoo. Certified as urgent ang train. Certified as urgent yung Bangsamoro law. Lahat po yan napasa dito sapagkat hiniling talaga ng ehekutibo na gawing urgent, itong certified as urgent. Secretary Dominguez, nandito palagi para kausapin kami tungkol dito nga sa train. Kayo nga po, bihira kayo magpakita dito para kausapin kami na talagang itong kailangan namin. So minsan, naiisip namin na ito na lang ang ginagawang kadahilanan dahil talagang walang masolusyonan.
Ma'am, una ho, wala ho kaming sinasabing walang masolusyonan. Pangalawa ho, kung may pagkukulang kami sa pagparini dito, hindi ho sa ayaw namin makapag-usap. Meron hong mga kadahilanan na kung saan paminsan-minsan talagang nagkakaroon ng valid excuses. And I can present chronology of conflicts. Wala ako nga karing hindi makipag-usap. Nakikipag-usap din ho ako. Nagsumiti kami ng mga plano na inaakala namang kulang. Pupunuan ho namin kung natawag pansin po kami. Kaya nga po sinasabi namin, ngayong araw na to, ibabalangkas ho namin yung programa at plano na ugma sa infrastruktura.
Sige po, ganito na lang. Basta malinaw bago inyong presentasyon, kaya naman tayo nandito. Unang-una, may right of way na kapangyarihan ng gobyerno. Pangalawa, merong alternative modes of procurement. At pangatlo, lahat naman po ng mga nakikita natin na maaaring masolusyonan, gaya nga ng sinabi nyo, na umpisahan na ninyo, hindi lang nga po nakamit ang mga dapat makamit. Pero hindi naman kinailangan kahit na meron pang emergency powers, hindi po ito magagawa ng basta-basta. Kaya nga po, sa ngayon, tingnan ko yung inyong presentasyon sa traffic at kung talagang kinakailangan ng emergency powers.
Thank you, ma'am. With the permission of the Honorable Chair, may I yield the floor to the USEC for rails to present the plans for rails, and afterwards the other USECs for the different sectors will accordingly present also their plans, with the permission of the Honorable Chair.
Please, sir.
Madam Chair, magandang umaga po. Madam Chair, tugma po dun sa sinasabi ni Secretary Tugadi po na nung ito pong nakalipas na 3 taon, ito po yung mga bagay po na ating ginagawa sa sektor ng Riles. At next slide. Very short lang po, 3 major parts lang po. Una po, yung overall picture. Ito pong nasa slide natin ngayon, ito po lahat nung tinatawag natin na investment-approved projects po natin. Lahat po ng mga linya na nandyan po sa screen ngayon ay may NEDA board approval. Next slide. Ito po hindi po siguro natin topic for today, pero just for reference po, ito po yung ating Phase 1 ng Mindanao Railway Project. Next slide. Para po mabigyan ng ilang numero yung ating pong programa at yung nakita po nating mapa, sa sektor po ng Riles, ang pinakatutok po talaga natin is to expand po yung tinatawag nating network. At yung expansion po na yan ay binibilang po natin sa pamamagitan po ng 3 parameters na nandun po sa screen. Halimbawa po, una, yung route length mula po sa 77 kilometers para po sa Greater Capital Region, meron po tayong investment-approved projects up to 405 kilometers. Yung 1,144 po kasama ang Bicol at kasama po ang Mindanao Rail. Ayon po sa bilang ng stasyon para po ma-expand yung reach po ng ating railway network, yan po ay aakyat mula 59 hanggang 153 kilometers po. Yung bilang po ng mga bagon from 221 to 1,293. At yung ridership projection po natin will increase per day from 1 million to 3 million per day. Next slide, please. Next slide. Siguro po, Madam Chair, ito pong sunod na mga slides natin yung magpapakita po nung ating yung relationship po nung ating sektor ng Riles dun po sa ating tinatawag na congestion sa ating mga daan. Dahil sa halimbawa po sa LRT Line 1, kung saan po tayo ay magkakaroon po ng 45 na 4-car trains, ang isa pong trend na meron pong 4 cars ay may kapasidad po ng 1,388 passengers. At kung gagamitin po natin yung average occupancy po ng isang sasakyan na 1.7 passengers per car, yan po ay equivalent to 816 cars per train set every 6 minutes. So yan po yung nakikita natin na conversion yan. Very roughly po, marami pong measures ito, pero ito na po siguro yung pinaka-simple at graphic po na example na ating may papakita. Just for an update po, yung 120 na bagong mga bagon para po sa LRT Line 1 ay currently under manufacturing po sa Spain. Ito po ay JICA-funded loan agreement po noong 2013. Yung una po nating train sets are on track to delivery po as scheduled in June po of 2020. Yun pong ating mock-up was delivered 3 months ahead noon pong January of this year. Next slide. Ang LRT Line 2 naman po ay tiga-4 na bagon, 1,600 per train set. Ang equivalent po niyan ay 958 cars per train set, bawat 6 minutes din po on average. Next slide. Ang MRT3 po, pag na-expand po natin siya to 4-car train sets, ay kaya po magsakay ng 1,576 passengers. Ang ibababa pong headway nito, kasalukuyan po tayo ay nasa 7.5 to 10 minutes po na headway o yung pagitan po ng dalawang tren. Yung kasalukuyan po nating 26-month rehabilitation na nag-umpisa po noong Mayo 2019, May 1, 2019, 0-100 hours, at matatapos po July 2021, we are currently 3 months ahead than contract. Pagkatapos po ay maibababa natin ang ating headway from 7.5 to 3.5 minutes. So that is 927 cars every 3.5 minutes for every MRT3 station. Next slide po. Ito naman pong ating tinatawag na North-South Commuter Railway System, 148 kilometers from Clark International Airport to Calamba, 37 stations, 22 local governments, 3 regions. Meron po tayong fleet na 58 train sets, 8 car each. Ito po ang una nating train set, ang una po nating system na tigwawalong bagon po bawat train set. Bawat train set po, 2,242 passengers or 1,319 cars every 6 minutes. Pirmahan na po natin yung kontrata for the first 104 train sets, train cars noon pong July of this year. Next slide po.
Nagka-bidding ba yan?
Opo,
Si-
JICA po.
Anong kumpanya ang nakakuha?
Ang nanalo po ay joint venture ng J-Trek and Sumitomo Corporation po. Yung J-Trek po is a Japanese rolling stock manufacturer.
Okay.
Ito pong sunog nating proyekto ay Metro Manila Subway. Pareho po siya noong North-South Commuter Railway na tigwawalong bagon po bawat train set, 30 train sets, 1,319 cars per day. Next slide po. Ang buong pipeline po natin ay fully funded. Ito po ay fully funded po ng 5 JICA loan agreements, isang ADB loan agreement, at yung papunta po ng Bicol ng isa pong China loan agreement na pinirmahan po 2 weeks ago in Beijing. May kita po natin na yung 1.244 trillion po nating pipeline is currently covered po by financial commitments from our international development lenders to the amount po of 781 billion pesos, 337 billion of which is already effective. Multi-tranche financing po kasi yung ginawa natin dito para po makatipid tayo sa financing cost. Hindi po natin dinro, hindi po natin ginawang effective yung buong amount. May programa po tayo para makatipid ng financing. Yung breakdown po, 481 billion po sa JICA, 286 billion po sa ADB, at 14 billion po sa China. Next slide po. Meron po tayong listahan ng investment approved projects, fully financed po tayo. Ito naman pong sunod nating dalawang slides po ay lahat po ng mga kontrata na magbubuo po ng mga linya na ipinakita po natin kanina. Ang mga kontrata po natin ay naka-classify into 4, consultancy contracts, civil works contracts, electromechanical or yung mga relays po, mga electrification, signaling, at rolling stock contracts. Makita po natin dito sa dalawang slides yung mga meron na pong pangalan ng contractor, yan na po yung contractor natin at yan na po yung actual contract signing date. Halimbawa po yung PNR Clark from Tutuban po to Malolos, full blast construction po tayo doon. We invite po to visit po the sites para po makita natin yung actual works po na nangyayari. LRT1 Cavite Extension po with LRMC, we are 1 month ahead of their program po sa pag-uumpisa ng piling works. Noon pong last Sunday, nag-umpisa pong mag-piling, yung hukay na po talaga para sa poste, ang LRMC po.
Eka muna, Yusat Batan, alam ko naman, matagal na kasi dapat talaga yung LRT1, di ba? Tapos, nagkaroon ng problema doon. Oo, di ba? Marami nang ang nagsasabi na pinupusta nila yung kanilang buhay para dyan. Kaya lang nagkaroon ng right-of-way issue. Totoo ba na pinalitan kasi ang ruta, kaya mas lalo pang natagalan?
Madam Chair, Ang LRT-1 Cavite Extension po ay unang nagkaroon ng investment approval noon pong August 2000. Noon pong August 2000 ay meron pong inassume na alignment pong tinatawag natin, at noon pong 2007, una pong nabigyan ng budget ng Kongreso yung proyekto upang mag-acquire po ng right-of-way. Mula po 2007 hanggang 2016 po ay nag-acquire po tayo ng mga lupa, at nung itinurn over po natin yung proyekto doon po sa ating concessionaire, ang LRMC, noong vinalidate po yung mga lupa na na-acquire natin, ay meron po tayong na-discover na mga discrepancies doon po sa surveying na nagawa. Halimbawa po, Madam Chair, meron pong ilang segments na halimbawa po, nandito yung in-acquire na lupa, pagdating po sa isang punto, umakyat pong pa ganun, tapos doon po dumiretso. Yun po yung dahilan kung bakit po kinailangan na magkaroon po ng ilang adjustments doon sa alignment, dahil po doon sa mga limitasyon
Kaninong pagkakamali yun?
Madam Chair, hindi po namin sigurado, Madam Chair, kung at which point po na-acquire yung mga right
Kailan
of way.
ninyo nakita yung discrepancy? Anong taon?
Mula po nung magkaroon tayo nung maipasa po natin yung proyekto sa LRMC, yung
Kailan yun?
2015 po ang effect.
I join
Senator Drilon.
Chair. I noticed that you're a little evasive on the question. You're saying that, all right, ang tanong sa iyo, nagkaroon ba ng pagbabago ang alignment? Ang ayaw mong sagutin kung hindi sinabi mo na parang nagkaiba. Kaya ang tanong na sunod, sino ba ang may kagagawa nito? Bakit nangyari ito?
Sir, nagkaroon po ng technical issue po doon sa surveying. Sometime po between 2007 onwards, generally po the alignment is the same. Meron lang pong ilang area na medyo off po yung property po na acquire, kung kaya't po kinailangan ayusin po, parang hinain,
Teka, Yusek Bat, alam ko you're very kind-natured, okay? Pero syempre we're trying to discover the truth here. So, with the indulgence of Senator Drilon, Engineer Santiago is our expert there. I think he wants to...
Madam Chairman, the answer to your question is yes. In 2003, when there was a contract with the Labalin, SNC Labalin, they start acquiring the right-of-way. Then that contract was cancelled when it was tendered on PPP sometime in 2014. The transaction advisor used the same alignment, but the same alignment insofar as the right-of-way already acquired. But after 2005, they changed the alignment, I think, on segment 1, on the earlier one nearer here. But the bidding document, which LRMC won, contained the wrong right-of-way. That when I was consulting with one of the prospective bidders, they did a survey, and the land indicated, promised by government to be made available, was different from the alignment. And that caused the delay, I think, in the execution. And probably why Batan could not answer it, he was not yet in the department, nor was familiar with the situation at that time.
But in 2014, that realignment or the problem with the surveying was already discovered, correct? So why did it take that long from 2014 until now to correct that they weren't able to do groundbreaking? Is it true that in the contract, if the government cannot grant the right-of-way conditions, we have to pay that company, yung nakapanalo ng bidding na yon, ng parang penalty? Is it true?
Madam Chair, meron pong provision po na pwede.
Yes, ma'am.
Magkano pong binabayad natin sa kanilang multa?
Ang latest po na claim based po doon sa mga delays ay nasa 4.9 po, 4.9 billion po.
See, tingnan mo yan wala pang serbisyong nakukuhang taong bayan. Nagbabayad na tayo ng multa. So kung ako ay isang contractor o isang consortium na nakapanalo ng award na yan, wala pa akong ginagawa. Kumukolekta na ako. So kung meron akong kausap sa gobyerno, huwag ninyong gawing priority yan, ha? Huwag ninyong madaliin yan. Anyway, wala naman kaming lugi. Di ba? Ang lugi lang tayo. Di ba? Hindi ko sinasabing kayo, Yusek Batanang may kasalanan nito, ha? Secretary Tugade.
You're
ano pong
absolutely
balita dyan?
correct, ma'am. In fact, for the record, last meeting I told you, whatever you do, I'm not going to pay that because that is obviously and patently disadvantageous to the government.
So wala tayong binayad doon sa 4.9
Wala ho,
billion?
ayaw ko hong bayaran. Nangongolekta ho sila, ayaw kong bayaran.
Pero kayo, yung nakaraang administrasyon, nagbayad ba?
Walang nabayad ho nun. At nung dumating ho kami, nangongolekta sila, rinipaso at pinag-aralan ho namin yung mga kontrata. At tama ho kayo, I agree wholly with your observation, madam. This is, to my mind, grossly disadvantageous to the government. And I said, I'm not going to pay that. And you better not invoke that as we pursue compliances on the existing contract.
So lahat ngayon ng right of way ninyo ay natapos na. So pwede nang umpisahan ito.
Opo, nakipagpulong po kami, if I may say, Madam Chair, sa mga LGU. Nakipagpulong po kami sa proponent at nag-usap-usap kami na magkasundo na lang na tapusin ito para nang sa ganun yung proyektong matagal na hong naantala mabigyan buhay naman. Kaya nga nagkaroon kami ng agreement amongst us that we will have partial operability on the LRT 1 extension by you want 2022 and I said reduce that further to 2021.
So, Secretary Tugade, from 2016 until the present, why weren't we able to expedite LRT1? Anong naging problema from that time, 3 taon? Kasi kung right of way lamang, sa ating present laws, within 30 days pwede naman yan ma-resolve. Or siguro sabihin na natin 6 months. Bakit hindi natin natapos yan? Anong mga naging balakid?
Ito ho yung sa relocation. Una po yung alam mo yung issue ng relocation, dalawang aspeto ho yan, Madam Chair. Relocation ng informal settlers, saka relocation po ng utilities. Minsan ho sa usapang relokasyon, nakakalimutan yung tinatawag na relocation of utilities. Malaking bagay ho yun para yung proyekto umusad. Yung sa relocation na pagkasunduan natin yung liquidation ng mga advance na ibigay, pagkasunduan na rin yun yung schedule kung saan i-relocate. But it took a tedious process.
Pero alam niyo po, siguro kung pukpukin lang yan at tinakot yung mga may-ari ng utilities na yan, kailangan na yan eh. Sa tingin ko magagawa. Pero ganito na lang po. Secretary Tugade, I know it's frustrating but we have to do accountability here. Yusek Batan, sa mga nabanggit ninyo, magandang pakinggan, magandang makita. At ako ay nangangarap rin na magkaroon tayo ng ganyan agad. So pakisabi sa akin, kung ibibigay natin ng emergency powers, paano makakatulong dun sa mga plano mo?
Madam Chair, 3 bagay po. Una po, Madam Chair, if we may use po an actual examples po. Dun po sa MRT 7, isa po dun sa pinaka nahirapan po talaga kami is dun sa pag-acquire po nung tinatawag natin na depot. Dahil po noon pong final po yung expropriation case ay ang nangyari po yung zonal value na sana po ay mai-deposito po at magre-result na po doon sa writ of possession ay hindi po nangyari dahil po yung judge po na involved ay nag-hearing po at nag-determine po ng ibang zonal, ng mas mataas na zonal value.
Pakiulit lang, ma'am, hindi ko masyado naintindihan yun. Pakiulit lang po, bakit hindi, yung, anong problema doon sa expropriation?
Good morning, Your
Because
Honor.
under the present law, if I recall correctly, based on the zonal value, you deposit it in court and you are given the right of entry and possession. So ano pong nangyari dito? Bakit hindi nasunod yung patakaran?
Tama po yun, no? Good morning po, Your Honor. Tama po yung sinabi ni Yusek TJ po, ni Secretary. Ang experience po namin sa DPO po ng MRT7 po, no? Nag-file po ang DOTR through OSG ng complaint for expropriation. Sinunod po namin ang nakasaad sa batas, nag-deposit po kami ng 100% of the zonal value at we're expecting at that time that within 7 days makukuha natin ang rate of possession. Yun po ay nakasaad sa batas. Ang ginawa po ng hukom ng branch 11 po ng Malolos po, no, this is under pain of subjudice po kasi meron tayong appeal, no, imbes po na ibigay niya ang writ of possession, he conducted further hearings on the ground na yung zonal value ay mali daw po. So nagpatawag siya ng mga BIR kaya naantala. Ngayon po, ang nangyari po sa hearing at sinabi niya po na yung dineposito po ng DOTR through MRT7 San Miguel po ay hindi po tama at humingi sila sa kautusan ng korte nas mas malaking amount. And if I may, from I think kailangan namin magdagdag ng 500, more or less 500 million. Kaya naantala po ang DIPO. Ngayon kung naantala po ang DIPO, maantala din ho ang proyekto kasi po yung mga bagon kung saan po sana ilalagay ay wala hong paglalagyan. Ang sinasabi ho po natin dito, kaya nga po tama po may batas tayo na bawal na ang mga injunction, may batas rin ho tayo na dapat yung huwes ay magbigay kaagad ng writ of possession. Meron ho silang ibang, with all due respect po sa atin, may mga pamamaraan po na naaantala kasi may mga hearings pa po na ginagawa na hindi ho dapat kailangan gawin. Sa amin pong pananaw. Sa amin pong pananaw. Ngayon po itong kaso ay pending po sa Court of Appeals, Your Honors.
Meron tayong batas, di ba, 8975, na nagbabawal dito sa mga injunction.
Tama po yun. Hindi
So-
po injunction ang binigay po dito. Hindi po ito injunction. The judge did not enjoin anything po.
So ano yung binigay
Ang
na
ginawa
ano?
po ngayon, sir, wala po siya in-enjoy ng proyekto. Ang nangyari po dito ay imbes po na i-issue kaagad ang writ of possession, he conducted further hearings delaying the project. Ang sinasabi po namin dito, alam naman po lahat ng abogado dito, kung ano man yung pagkukulang sa binigay naming zonal value, ay yan ay pag-uusapan on the hearing of the payment of just compensation.
So ngayon,
Dalawa po,
problema pa rin yung tipo na.
problema pa rin po hanggang ngayon.
Pwede naman kayong pumunta sa Supreme Court, di ba?
Meron po pending po ngayon sa CA ang kaso natin, ma'am, through OSG, ang ating statutory counsel. Ito po yung sinasabi namin na may mamungkahi po kami.
Senator Drilon.
Yes. All right. Maybe one of the remedial legislations that we can do, not emergency power, is to enact a law which says the moment the government goes to the court for the writ of possession, it should be immediately granted upon a deposit of 100% of the zonal value. All questions on the zonal value will be resolved on the merits of the case afterwards. But what is important is that the writ of possession is immediately issued upon, of course, a deposit of 100% of the zonal value, and any error or adjustment of the zonal value will be tackled on the decision in the decision of the main case. Maybe that's one legislation that we can provide.
Exactly, which is not absolute for everything, that we cannot anymore
No.
ascertain. So if we are specific on what the problems are, doon tayo gagawa ng batas. Meron kasing Supreme Court Circular Number 232/2015, no hearing is required on the value of the land. As long as yun nga yung binigay ng BIR. So, alam niyo po, minsan, pukpuk lang talaga yung kailangan dito para mas bumilis yung proseso. Senator Tolentino, may tanong po kayo.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a suggestion to Secretary Togate. You're a friend, your former colleague in the cabinet. Tama po siguro yung ginawa nyo kanina na hindi binayaran ng damages yung contractor. Pero that will not insulate future administrations, future Secretary of Transportation from having to contest litigations. So I suggest, coming from a friend, that you do your spade work. Try to fire the first legal trigger, so to speak. Unahan nyo nang ihabla yung nagpa-delay kanina na binabanggit nyo. Nang sa ganun, hindi na mahirapan yung mga kasunod. Kahit kayo, baka balikan kayo nung naniningil sa inyo na sinasabi nyo kanina. And then, yung sinasabi ni Madam Chair, siguro panahon na para maging proactive din tayo. Meron palang Supreme Court circular. Why not file an administrative charge against that judge in my home province? Di ba kung siya yung may kasalanan? Just a suggestion, Madam Chair. Thank you.
We accept very much the suggestion and we will pursue. Kwan lang ho, isang realidad lang ho. If we follow yung legislation and which we feel should be done, meantime ho, naantala yung proyekto namin. Kailan pa ho mapapasa yung batas? Magmo-motion for reconsideration kami sa Korte Suprema, magkakahiring ho yan. Meantime, ang net effect po niyan, Madam Chair, naantala ho yung proyekto namin.
Ito na nga po kahit naman po yung kahit na anong batas talaga, lalo na pag emergency powers, may proseso talaga yan, hindi naman yan kaagad-agad. Pero tingnan nyo po ginusto ng Pangulo natin ang Boracay nasara na wala namang emergency powers na ayos. Ang Marawi, meron dong martial law. Pero ang rehabilitation, hindi rin agad-agad. Hindi ba? So kaya nga, kung anong meron tayo ngayon, which I think enables us actually to work faster if we just had the determination to do it, we will have achieved more things. Kaya nga hindi pwedeng sabihin, kasi emergency power, sa Marawi nga hanggang ngayon, maraming nagsasabi, yung rehabilitation sana, hindi pa rin ganun kabilis. Because there are factors that cannot be covered even by that. Because if it's really needed, if you can make the case now, itong mangyayari pag meron yan, na wala pa sa batas natin, ibibigay natin. Lahat tayo dito ay makikinabang dyan. Hindi po kami ang kalaban ninyo dito, kaya lamang po, may responsibilidad kami na huwag abusuhin ang sistema. Diba? Lahat naman, alam mo, parang gamot lang yan Lahat tayo naghihingalo dito sa traffic. Kahit na gamot, anong gamot, kukunin natin. Kung hindi naman pala kailangan yon o kaya kung malason pa tayo dyan, kaya pinag-aaralan natin. Meron pa bang presentation para sa iba namang segment?
Parang si Yusek Batan, wala kayo nabanggit na cost. Yung sa mga pinresent nyo, was there a cost?
Meron po yata, sir,
The
dun
reason
sa mga
why
proyekto.
I mentioned that, Madam Chair, since Senator Drilon mentioned a while ago on the need for piecemeal remedial legislation, I addressed this to Secretary Tugade. You're familiar with the recently passed law relative to the Motor Vehicles Users Charge, MVUC. It's a Republic Act 11239, which was abolished, inabolished yung road board no March 8, 2019. Will you agree with me, Secretary Tugade? Napakalaki nitong mga gastusin dito, billions, na is it aligned with my thinking, the good secretary, that we amend the motor vehicle users charge law to make it a reality that part of the income which has now reached in 2017 it reached 70 billion pesos. Part of the income from that law should be earmarked or allotted as railroads funds, railways funds. Para sa ganun,
Wala ho akong problema dyan. Kasi magkakaroon ho tayo ng pamaraan na kung saan magkakaroon tayo ng isang definite fund na pwedeng pagkuhanan. Just for the information of the
matigil
committee.
ko kayo, Mr. Secretary, kasi kanina, naguluhan din ako yung sinabi na isang railway system, ang tren na manggagaling ay sa Spain, yung isa sa China, yung isa sa Japan, Sumitomo, kung saan-saan na, yung J-Trek. So, yung interoperability nito, siguro, depende kung saan tayo nakakuha ng utang. Kaya doon manggagaling yung tren. Kaya kung meron tayong Railways Fund o Railroad Fund, tayo na yung magdidikta, Mr. Secretary, kung saan tayo bibili. Di po ba?
Tama ho, I agree with the
And I let
concept.
you continue with what you're saying a while ago. So,
Yung sinasabi ko, just for the record, sa aming pagtatanong itong mga nakarang araw, ang pondo ho ng Department of Transportation dun sa tinatawag na road fund, 13 billion na po. 13 billion, 13, and ongoing. Kasi ho, kinukuha ito sa road users tax.
but that's not dedicated
Not
for railways
dedicated.
purposes.
Ginagamit ho ito dun sa mandato ng batas creating the then road board fund na magagamit sa safety, pollution, anti-smoke belching, yung mga ganyan.
Madam Chair, from the answer of Secretary Tugate, this representation is inclined to file a bill that would amend Republic Act 11239 relative to the utilization of the motor vehicles users charge, allocating a portion thereof, the income, as a railroads fund. And can I ask the good secretary to assist me and have a position paper on this?
We'll certainly do, sir.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you for enlightening us also, Senator Tolentino. Alam na alam ni Senator Francis yung mga ganyan kaya mag-iingat din tayo sa ating mga sinasabi na siguro sa susunod naman yung presentation nyo, Yusek De Leon.
Magandang umaga po. In the part of the road sector, yung present po kanina ni Congressman Edgar Mary Sarmiento, we fully support yung kanyang present na EDSA carousel na konsepto wherein pinakita niya yung experience ng other countries such as Bogota and Curitiba in Brazil na talagang napakaganda, may dedicated lane yung mga bus natin dito sa EDSA. Unfortunately, katulad nga po ng nabanggit ng aming mahal na sekretary, andyan po ang existing operators. We have almost 4,000 city buses in EDSA, almost 120 operators. So what we will need is really to have emergency powers to help us consolidate these bus operators. Ngayon po, ang plano po ngayon natin for the BRT, if we can just present the slides on the BRT, we will have a BRT along Quezon Avenue, also along Cebu and in Davao. And marami pong existing operators dyan, jeepneys, buses that we will need to consolidate.
So in consolidating, what in an Emergency Powers Act will you invoke to be able to consolidate?
Ang number one po dyan is to allow us to cancel these franchises and allow us to consolidate these existing operators and run that system para walang minimal po yung magiging displacement. Yan po yung pinakamagandang may dudulot ng ibibigay na emergency powers.
So yung emergency powers basically will just cancel out their franchise and we can't achieve that without emergency powers.
Nandiyan po yung threat ng mga injunction orders from the courts. Similar to what we have done in coordination with MMDA, LTFRB, for the interim terminals, nagkaroon po kami ng mga injunction with these new policies like having integrated terminals. So yung threat ng mga injunctions is real and existing po.
So, Senator Tolentino.
Yusek Batan, palagay ko tama ka dyan. For the information of this committee and all the resource persons present here, as early as February 2013, I attempted to have a bus consortium system for EDSA. I met several times. In fact, I have the minutes of the meetings here. I met several times the city bus operators. So sabi ko, ang dami-dami nyo sa EDSA, bakit hindi na lang natin to gawing consolidated, having 4 consortiums. Ang proposal ko nun, Madam Chair, Consortium 1, Alabang Zone. Consortium 2, Baclaran Zone. Consortium 3, Fairview Zone. Consortium 4, Monumento Zone. We started to inventory the number of buses, all assets of the members. Marami yung kuma-attend. And in fact, I reached a point that we drafted a consortium agreement. Hindi babaguhin noon yung batas, names of buses, pupunta na lang kami sa Securities and Exchange Commission, kung nagkasundo, pupunta sa LTFRB. Ang dami ko hong naubos na oras dito. Kompleto na ho yung consortium agreement para umunti na lang yung city buses sa EDSA. In fact, I have all the studies here with me, and I am more than willing to provide the good secretary a copy of this study, route measured capacity, etc., etc. Ang naging problema lang po doon, habang tumatagal po yung meeting, paunti ng paunti kami. Kasi ang sabi ko noon, kung anong kikitain ng Consortium 1, hati-hati na lang kayo. Yung bus drivers, kayo magsusweldo, pero gagawa tayo ng sistema na yung kikitain, hati-hati na lang para maiwasan yung tumatakbo ng alas 2 ng hapon na walang laman. So, kumpleto po yung pag-aaral ko dito. Pero I agree, Madam Chair, for economies of scale and the maximization of assets through sharing, inspektor, mekaniko, konduktor, driver, palagay ko po tama itong consortium system. Ginagawa po ito sa ibang bansa. Nahirapan lang ako kasi wala pong sumuporta sa akin noon. Siguro ang pumayag lang po mga 4 na operators hanggang 5. I can still recall their faces and how enthusiastic they were when we were meeting, kahit pinapakain ko lang ng sandwiches kasi magkakaisa na sila eh. I think, Mr. Secretary, you can do this. You can do this with the cooperation of LTFRB. You can do this with the cooperation of the City Buses Association, and with the help of the Madam Chairman of this committee. I think we can do this bus consortium. We can operationalize this. I'll be turning over you all my documents, my notes as MMDA Chairman before, if you're willing to have it now, Mr. Secretary. So, sinasabi ni Yusek Batan, hindi magagawa ito kung walang emergency powers?
Medyo maratagalan nga lang po ang naiisip po ng...
Under nyo naman po ang LTFRB?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Yes, sir.
So, can you convene all the city bus operators and then refresh their memory and show this draft consortium agreement which we crafted year 2013, na baka naman pumayag sila na mapadali ito. Kasi yun yung plano nyo, BRT, yung pinakita ni Congressman Sarmiento kanina, yung loop, that can only be achieved if we have an organized city bus system. I'm not talking about the provincial buses wherein they all cooperate. Without their cooperation, wala talagang mangyayari.
Tama po yun, Mr.
So,
Chair.
mapapabilis ng emergency powers.
Tama po yan, Mr.
Pag
Chair.
walang emergency powers, hindi kaya?
Threat lang po ng injunction ng makakapagpabagal ng ating mga proyekto.
Hindi, paano magkaka-injunction? Papipirmahin na nga natin. Monti ko na mapapirma lahat eh. Papipirmahin natin, and then we get the assistance of the Securities and Exchange Commission para sama-sama na lang sila, and then you have LTFRB. Di ba? Siguro ang tatanungin ni Senator Grace po, kailangan ba doon ng emergency powers? Para mapabilis o...
Tama po yan, sir, Mr. Chair. Para po mapabilis, and yung kanilang mga prangkisa ay maging null and void na, and we will consolidate them to a new franchise, Mr. Chair.
Madam Chair, I request the committee secretariat that all my notes, all my records be furnished Secretary Tugade, including all the bus plans for Metro Manila, etc., etc. And let the records reflect that I'm now turning this over to the good Secretary of Transportation. Comsec, sino pwede magdala?
Madam Chair, accepted with appreciation.
Thank you for your proactive approach during your time, also for the consolidation of the buses. Eh di sana yun ang nilagay ninyo dun sa request ninyo sa amin, to consolidate the consortium of buses para sa emergency powers. Hindi kung ano-ano itong mga facial recognition, yung mga ganon. Eh kung yun naman pala. Pero even then, right now, as Senator Tolentino mentioned, nasa inyong LTFRB, nasa ilalim ninyo. Hindi pa nga nasusubukan, iniisip na ninyo, ay magkakaroon ng injunction, magkakaroon ng ganyan. Eh hindi naman pala kayo umuusad pa. But before that, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of our Senate Pro Temp, Senator Ralph Recto. Thank you, sir, for your presence today. Senator Drilon.
Yes, balikan ko lang po yung sinabi kanina about the delay in the process of writ of possession. Uh, Firstly, who is that judge?
RTC Branch 11, sir. And if I may, if I can name him, sir, his name is Judge Montenegro.
Judge Montenegro. You know, the reason I'm asking, I'm looking at her, I'm asking for that is, you know, there is a Office of the Court Administrator circular, which specifically addresses the question. This is a circular number 232-2015. Very specific po. It cited the case decided by the Supreme Court in 2000. And let me quote to you what is the case is all about. Cited in this Court Administrator circular. It says, there is therefore no need yet to determine with reasonable certainty the final amount of just compensation in resolving the issue of a writ of possession. In fact, it is the ministerial duty of the trial court to issue a writ upon compliance with the requirements of Section 4. No hearing is required, and the court cannot exercise its discretion in order to arrive at the amount of provisional value of the property to be expropriated, as this legislature has already fixed the amount under the aforementioned provision of law. So, notwithstanding this, were you aware of this case?
We are aware of that, Your Honor. Actually, sir, that is the position of DOTR, and that has been always the position of OSG, sir.
So, notwithstanding this, you took no action against this judge for gross ignorance of the law?
The secretary
Why?
gave us the...
As Senator Tolentino said, have you taken action against the incompetence of this judge? Because we can make all the laws. If the implementation is as defective as what we see, no law will solve our problems. We have already provided all the authorities. And siguro, medyo, sabi nga, bakit hindi natin pinupukpuk ito at why? You know, the typical attitude of the bureaucrat is, pending na yan, ayaw ko nang galawin. Siguro dyan, anyway, can you respond?
Yes, Your Honor. Nung narinig po nating mahal na kalihim na nangyari po yan, he gave instruction, very clear instruction po, to take actions, not only to the case, but also to the personalities involved. No, so, but we deferred the action to OSG po, kasi sila po yung statutory counsel namin at that time, sir. So, nag-appeal ang OSG sa CA, and yun po, we're going to discuss na lang po kung ano yung
So,
balak.
kailan pa nangyari ito? When was the application for writ of possession filed, and how long ago?
2018, Your Honor.
Last year?
Yes, Your Honor.
Last year?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you file any action against the judge for gross ignorance?
We deferred, Your Honor, to the OSG, Your Honor, as our statutory
Yan
counsel.
po ang ating problema. Refer. That is what our chairman is saying. Maybe you should take a more proactive stance, because there are enough laws that equip our bureaucrats to do and achieve the goals that we have set for ourselves. Kung ganyan mayroong isang RTC judge dyan exhibiting ignorance of this regulation would stand in the way of immediate implementation of our projects, we should take a firmer action than simply folding our arms and say, bahala ang OSG dyan.
Yes, Your Honor.
Pukpok lang, di ba? Pukpok. Gusto kong, di ba, yung sinasabi nga ni Senator Tolentino na magkaroon ng rationalization nga ng routes ng consortium ng mga buses, hindi naman siguro, kasi magiging contentious talaga at magkakaroon ng kaso kung ika-cancel mo yung prangkisa na lehitimo. Ang tanong lang dito, kunwari nagkaroon ng actually dispatching schedule that they have to comply. As franchise holders, you can do the regulations for them, di ba? Na ito ang magiging schedule ngayon, ito lang ang dadaanan ninyo. Kasi, di ba, kinancel nga ninyo yung ibang buses from entering EDSA, meaning, since the franchise is a privilege, the LTFRB can actually have new regulations as to the dispatching of these buses without having to cancel legitimate franchises. Am I right?
Good morning, Madam Chair. In response to the question, the Chair is right. However, as mentioned by Sec. Mark De Leon, and we have discussed this internally with the OTR, mapapausad natin ito pero hindi masyado kasi nga we already have a good example on what happened to the program of MMDA of which the OTR and LTFRB have worked closely with. I'm referring to the rationalization of the bus terminals along EDSA. How much more and having to address the entire 4,600 units of city buses in Metro Manila alone. I understand very much the effort of Senator Tolentino when he was still MMDA, because that is what we do also in LTFRB. We need to consult with the bus operators from time to time and having to address the public transport issues. But nevertheless, as I was not surprised when he said na palit ng palit yung grupo doon sa gustong tumulong para lang maiayos itong problema sa public transport. And precisely why we're appealing to this committee so that we'll be able to push. And it's not far-fetched that there would be some other groups of bus operators to file an injunction case later on if their franchise would be affected adversely.
Alam mo, tama din yung sinabi ninyo yung gusto ninyong eksperimento nga na magkakaroon ng dedicated bus lanes na question na sa korte. So, in this discussion now, it seems to me that the real direction of having an emergency power is not so much for procurement, it's not so much for right-of-way, it is more for the courts. Am I right? Para wala masyado tayong mga kaso, yung mga ganon. Kasi, doon sa alternative modes of procurement, nandyan na. Meron na kayong kapangyarihan. Pagdating sa right-of-way, kung ipapairal lang yung nakalagay sa batas, nandun na rin, mareresolba within a certain number of days. Kaya, ang sinasabi ba natin ngayon, ang problema natin ay ang korte na nagpapadelay sa ating mga proyekto?
Madam, if I may say, may problema pa rin sa right-of-way, may problema sa procurement, may problema sa mga injunction, may problema sa mga samut-sari. Mamaya ho, kung ipapakita po namin yung mga polisiya na gusto namin sanang patuparin na hindi naman ugba sa existing na mga batas, makikita po natin yung pangangailangan doon sa pag-aproba ng emergency power.
Alam mo kung dati pa namin yan, kung meron lang mga liaison mula sa opisina ninyo, na sinabi, ito talaga, ito, di ba? Sana naumpisahan na nga natin noon. Kaso, yung listahan nga na ibigay sa amin, medyo nakakalula Pero anyway, Senator Recto.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First of all, I'd like to apologize for being a bit late, no? Kung di ako nagkakamali, pinag-uusapan natin dito yung number 1, PS Resolution number 55, yung ukol sa provincial bus ban. Pangalawa, yung emergency powers na Senate Bill number 213, at yung PS Resolution which I filed, number 81, tungkol sa Traffic Master Plan. Palagay ko nag-uumpisa lahat ito doon sa may plano ba talaga tayo. At kung hindi ako nagkakamali, in 2014, ang NEDA nagkaroon ng kasunduan kasama ang JICA in 2014 to do a dream plan na pinag-aralan yung buong traffic problem sa Metro Manila at mga ibang lugar. I was hoping that there would be a presentation from the DOTR kung ano ba talaga itong planong ito. At did we adopt this plan? Itong planong ito ba ay unang-una feasible, viable, magkano ba? Dahil pag pinagkasunduan natin na ito yung gagawin natin, makikita natin kung kinakailangan natin ng additional powers, emergency powers, o kung ano-ano pa. Pangalawa, yung struktura ba natin ngayon o yung mga institutions in place ay capable ba to implement this plan? Halimbawa, ang MMDA, ang DOTR, at ang DPWH. Dahil lahat kayo ay nakatugon sa problema din ng infrastructure, transport operations at traffic management dito sa ating lugar. Di ba? So, will we have a presentation ba on this dream plan? Meron ba tayong planong pangkalahatan, a comprehensive master plan tungkol sa traffic sa Metro Manila? Palagay ko doon tayo dapat mag-umpisa bago pag-usapan ang ano pa. Para nang sa ganon, ma-inform ang taong bayan na magkaroon sila ng pag-asa na ito yung mga dapat gawin. Halimbawa, ito mga bus rapid transit na to ba ay nakalagay ba sa traffic master plan na to? O ito'y may ibang nag-isip lang nito na wala naman sa plano to doon sa dream plan na pinagkasunduan natin, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, ng NEDA at ng JICA.
Who would answer that question?
Yeah, sino ba ang pwedeng sumagot ng katanungan na yan? Yes.
Mr. Garcia, Jojo, yes.
Good morning, sir. Actually, sir, yung the big picture sa traffic management plan, it was presented the last time, no? Yung just part of some of the policies. Kasi sabi nga namin, we should have a long-term, a mid-term, and a short-term solutions. Correct. Okay? Sa long-term solutions, nasagot na po talaga yan ng DOTR kasi mas more sa kanila, like yung improvement ng mass transpo, modernization, regulation sa mga franchise. It's part of the bigger solution. But this will take years, no? Infrastructure.
Correct.
Yan.
Correct.
Then we have these midterm solutions, which we started at least last year. When we say it's midterm solution, yun yung achievable.
No, we understand all of that.
Yes, sir.
Itong planong ito naman talaga may short, medium,
Yes,
long term.
yes, sir. That's why
it will transgress or it will need to be undertaken by many administrations. We understand that.
Yes, sir.
Di ba? But we have to start somewhere. Now, the point is this. Nagkaroon na ba tayo ng presentation sa Kongreso, be it in the House and in the Senate, particularly of our dream plan?
Yes, sir.
A master plan.
Yes, sir.
And then identify, kaya ba ng mga institusyon ng pamahalaan natin, halimbawa ng DOTR, ng MMDA, ng Public Works, na i-implement ang planong ito? Sapat ba yung pondo natin para dito, halimbawa? Di ba? At alin yung uunahin natin? Then identify ano yung mga roadblocks. Halimbawa, ito bang bus rapid transit system na sinasabi ninyo is part of the plan? And ito ba sinasabi na ito yung unang dapat gawin? Halimbawa, is that part of the recommendations?
Yes, sir. Actually, sir, last year pa lang, may mga recommendations kami. First, no, all experts will say, ang dami yung experts na nagpupunta, yung brand coding, color coding, yung event, etc. No? The bottom line is, alam nila, the problem is volume reduction. That's why, kasi sobra-sobra talaga.
Ang tanong, have you presented a plan? Ang
Yes,
pagkaalam ko, wala pa ako nakikita ang presentation dito.
Sir, yun nga yung...
In the last 3 years, wala pa ako nakikita ang presentation dito sa Senado. And that's why we filed this resolution today. And that's why we're hearing it also today. Hindi ba dapat ang unang-una mag-present tayo ng, so that we're all on board na meron tayong vision of what we want Metro Manila to look like in the future. You know, marami tayo sinasabi na okay, gagawa tayo ng subway. Wala akong problema. Gusto natin lahat yun. Let us improve our railway systems, so on and so forth. Okay tayo dyan. But why don't you present a comprehensive plan? Ipakita ninyo dito. Maybe we can ask JICA, if need be, to make that presentation. Maybe at this juncture, maybe the transport engineers might want to say something. Yes.
Engineer Santiago? Yes.
So, I am willing to present the plan, the dream plan, but that will take time. We can have another session. I was a member of the JICA team that formulated the dream plan in 2014, including the revision in 2016. I'm a member of the JICA team that prepared the Metro Cebu Transport Plan and also the Cebu Master Plan. I have all the information of that. You can schedule. I will be willing to present all those plans to give some vision and clarity to all these bits and pieces.
Yes. If I may follow up this point, no? Has the government adopted the dream plan, the master plan?
The NEDA in 2015 adopted the dream plan as the master plan.
Are we following that master plan?
The construction of the subway, the Mega Manila subway, and the North-South commuter railway are part of that plan.
Yes.
The BRT are not.
Okay. So does it appear? It would appear that we are not following the plan. Is that it?
There are some sections that are not followed that sort of altered the arterial or the network effect,
Okay.
including some of the 11 or 13 bridges planned were not part of the dream plan.
Okay. So binago yung plano.
To that extent, yes, Your Honor.
May mali ba sa plano na kailangan baguhin?
The adjustments are acceptable, but if it changes the whole behavior of the network, it changes the integrity of the plan.
Okay, ngayon. Kung masyado maraming babaguhin at magbigay tayo ng emergency power, baka lalo sumama kung mali yung plano. Tama ko ba yun?
That is the danger. That's why...
That is the danger of an emergency plan or an emergency powers kung walang plano. Tama?
Yes, Senator, but I think if you have to issue an emergency power, it has to be a sniper tool rather than a shell.
Correct. I understand where you're coming from. Now, in a nutshell, maybe we should have that presentation in the future so that we're all guided accordingly, so that we understand what is the comprehensive master plan that we have. It all begins with a plan. Pangalawa, I will try to be brief, Madam Chair. Are our institutions capable of implementing that comprehensive plan? Or do we have a structural problem, Engineer Santiago?
I must
Or a
admit we
systemic
have
problem?
institutional deficiencies in many of our agencies because the expertise sort of disappear or evaporate after a few years. The government has no capacity or capability to retain this experience. I noticed that deterioration, and I pity Secretary Togade for coming in and an organization that is depleted with technical experts or people.
So what you are saying is that we do not have the technical experts in the DOTR.
At the moment and at start, I think they're
And
trying
we
to
do not
build it
blame-
up, but
we
I
do not
don't
blame
think
Secretary Togade for
Yeah.
this.
I don't think they have reached that level that I would consider when I saw the OTR in the 1985, 86. Up to that point, I think it started deteriorating after 2000.
After the year 2000. Okay. So, and that is part of the resolution which I filed. No? One is the comprehensive master plan. Second, do we agree with that plan? Is it feasible? Is it viable? Can we afford it? Okay? And do we have the institutions in place to implement the plan? Yun ang isa sa pinakamahalaga dito. Di ba? Dahil kung mali yung plano naman, at kung babaguhin natin, and we give emergency powers, lalong delikado. Hindi ho ba, Engineer Santiago? Okay? So, Madam Chair, maybe at the appropriate time, if not today, maybe in a future hearing, maybe the NEDA, the DOTR, the private sector involved in crafting this dream plan, present to the committee this comprehensive master plan which we spent for with JICA na plinano na supposed to be yung buong to give us a comprehensive traffic plan dito sa Metro Manila and in Cebu. Diba? May pakita sa atin so that we can understand. Yes.
Mr. Senator, Madam Chair,
Yes.
can I
Madam
give
Chair.
an update on the Metro Manila
Excuse me,
transport?
Mr. Undersecretary.
Sorry.
You have not been recognized, so if you please I'm trying to ask a question, no? I'm trying to ask the question. Mr. Santiago has been saying that there was a master plan. Was this submitted to the DOTR? Yes, Ms. Medina, would you know this?
Actually, sir, the JICA Dream Plan has two versions. One is the short version and the other is the long version. It is available in YouTube. Probably
No,
if
no,
there
no,
is
no, no, no.
somebody
Being
now.
available in YouTube and being
Yes,
submitted officially to the DOTR
I believe so, sir, because it has been approved by NEDA and the
Yeah, okay, I
LTR
will
was
ask
part of it.
Secretary
That
Tugani with
was
your
in
permission.
2014, sir.
Secretary Tugan.
Because the reason I'm asking this is, in in the previous Congress, last Congress, the same question was asked, and there it was the conclusion during the discussion that there is no such thing as a master plan. That's why the resolution of our Senate President pro tempore. Now, Mr. Santiago is saying there was a master plan drafted. So the next question is, nasaan na ba ito? Sinumiti ba ito sa DOTR? I don't accept the proposition that it is in the YouTube. That is not an official submission. Yes, Secretary Tugadi, can you answer the question?
Yes, sir. We are in receipt of all those studies and master plan submitted by JICA. Yes, we are in receipt of the master plan reviewed by NEDA. Yes, we are trying to follow the master plan with some changes. These changes are on the structures and facilities. In fact, the thing we are doing.
How long ago did you receive this master plan?
2 years ago, sir. We
2
are
or 3
following the
years
plan.
ago.
If I may continue,
Yes.
sir. The Bulacan Airport was in the study. The Sangli Airport, the renovation is in the study. The NAIA is in that study. The MRT and the rail population is in the study. The subway.
Ito parang Biblia natin ang master plan. Hindi po ba? That
Opo.
should be what Senator Rector said. Ito pong Biblia natin, natanggap natin, pag in-approve yan, iyan ang dapat sundin natin. And any questions, including question from the Senate, should be responded on the basis of the master plan. And then, so, tatlong taon na po itong master plan na ito.
Absolutely.
Patapusin niyo muna ako. Tatlong taon na sinasabi ninyo ang master plan. Hanggang ngayon, hindi pa po na-approve. Kaya, parang hodgepodge, parang, we pick up portions of the master plan. Why the delay in the formal approval? Meron bang humihingi ng pagbabago or what?
As I was saying, sir, if I may, meron hong master plan sinumite yung JICA. Sinundan po namin yan. Meron hong master plan which embedded the portions of the JICA study submitted to NEDA, and this was okay. Na-receive po namin yan. Sinusundan po namin yan, yung master plan na yan. Hindi nga po lahat, kasi nabanggit po yung BRT. The BRT is a new input into the master plan, but it does not mean it structurally affected the master plan.
So,
Pati yung yellow lane, I'm sorry, Senator Drilon, with your indulgence. So yung yellow lane policy para sa buses, hindi rin kasama sa master plan?
Doon po yan sa MMD.
Oo nga, hindi nga. Pero that's still about traffic. Hindi nga kasama.
Ipasa ko na lang
Senator
po.
Tolentino is recognized.
Ma'am, siguro anybody from MMDA or DOTR can answer. What's the difference between a transport plan and a traffic management plan? It seems na we are now crisscrossing two different turfs that are interrelated, but probably the details are far in between. So, what's the difference? Can anybody answer? Yusek De Leon?
Yes, Mr. Chair, yung transport plan po pertains to plans of our mass transportation systems, including yung ating mga road transport.
Thank you. And then what about the traffic management plan?
Yung traffic management plan po pertains to yung specific na kunyari, itong kalsada na to, one way po natin, itong left turning, right turning.
Who is supposed to craft the traffic management plan for Metro Manila? Is it DOTR or MMDA?
Sir, yung ang main mandate po niyan ng MMDA, also yung mga projects po natin like the MRTs, the BRTs, bago po yan implement, nagagawa rin po yung mga ahensya or yung proponents ng traffic management plan.
So, Yusek, you're in agreement with me that right now, we don't have both plans. Because JICA cannot craft a traffic management plan for us. Halimbawa, road reblocking ngayon sa Mindanao Avenue. Eh, ano pakialam nung JICA doon? Di ba? Wala naman ang JICA dito. Halimbawa, nagkaroon ng isang fun run sa Ross Boulevard. O, yung traffic management plan doon, magre-reroute sa Taft Avenue, pupunta na Makapagal, walang pakialam ang JICA ron. So, who is supposed to craft the transport plan and who is supposed to deliver the traffic management plan as asked by Senator Recto?
Yung transport plan po natin, Mr. Chair, is already that dream plan.
The dream plan.
That
The
is,
wish list.
Yes, sir.
Nandun lahat yung gusto ng nasabi ni Senator Trilon, dapat susundin. But the traffic management plan, which probably goes into the details, yung saan yung bus stop, saan yung left turn, saan yung U-turn slot, who crafts that?
Depende po yan. Kung yung proyekto po is under DOTR, yung mga proponents po ng proyekto
The reason why I'm saying that, Madam Chair, kasi napag-usapan kanina yung dispatching system. When I left MMDA, may dispatching system. Generally, is familiar with that. So meron tayo sa Navotas, meron tayo sa Fairview, meron tayo sa Parañaque, etc. etc. Ngayon, si Quezon City sumali, gustong tumulong, which is working, naglagay ng in between sa Commonwealth, di ba? Nagpapalabas kayo ng bus doon. Ang tanong ko, are these all operational? Ginagawa pa ba natin? The traffic plan is supposed to intertwine with the transport plan. Kasi si transport plan yun yung mga facilities. Ito yung mga bigger terminals, ito yung infra natin, ito yung elevated proposed walkways, etc. etc. So, who is now in charge of all of this? Kasi whether Engineer Santiago will say na meron tayong master plan, kung hindi naman ini-implement ng appropriate government agencies, wala din yun. Di ba? Kasi ang traffic management plan, correct me if I'm wrong, Yusek De Leon, is a day-to-day activity that is not supposed to be placed in the shelves, the bookshelves of government agencies. Tama ba? Ito na yung kasama ang HPG ngayon, MMDA. Tama po ba yun?
Tama po yan, Mr. Chair.
So yung tanong siguro ni Senator Recto kanina, nasaan tong mga planong ito kung pwedeng ibigay sa committee? Can you answer that?
And can I defer to Yusek Reynoso for that?
No, before Yusek Reynoso, I'd like to hear from Dr. Primitivo Cal.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The master plan, so-called the dream plan, is inclusive of traffic management plan because the master plan covers short up to long term. As a matter of fact, the investment requirement of the dream plan to year 2030 is 2.6 trillion pesos. And the traffic management component is something like 61 billion. So as you can see, Madam Chair, we have we have a basis, and that should we pursue the emergency powers, we could include as a provision in the emergency powers that any traffic action plan that will be prepared by the designated traffic czar should be consistent with the dream plan to make sure that consistency in our planning and implementation.
So meron pala. Ito nga ang isa pang kinababahala natin sa isang emergency powers dahil may isang designated traffic czar. Yung magiging parang go-to traffic czar, kung titignan natin ngayon, ay syempre si Secretary Tugade. Pero talagang dapat isang taong nakakaintindi talaga ng kabuuang plano na merong enerhiya para talagang tutukan ito na palaging pupuntahan at sisaya sa atin kung maayos ba. At sabi nga ni Engineer Santiago, razor sharp dapat, di ba? Hindi lang pwedeng blanket authority. Si Congressman Sarmiento, meron po kayong dadagdag.
Yes, Madam Chair. I just wanted to inform the Honorable Pro-Tempore that before you arrive, I presented something. I'm a civil engineer by profession. really, I work on roadmap as well. True enough, JICA made the roadmap, but some of those are irrelevant already nowadays. That's the reason why, closely working with Secretary Atugadi, I suggested the same. However, as of the moment, in the House, we have the budget hearing. However, I'm still closely working with them for them to submit finally the roadmap based on NEDA's policy as the National Transportation Plan and to finally come with the National Transportation System Plan as well. Because what Senator Terdinas is right, traffic management and infrastructure roadmap for our transportation is totally different. So we just rest assured that I'll be working the same in close coordination with my counterpart so that finally we can do something about this 3.5 billion economic losses a day.
Actually, Congressman Sarmiento, that's exactly the point that I'm trying to make. First of all, we appreciate your initiative. But that type of initiative, although we acknowledge that you're an engineer, uh, should not really have come from the legislative branch if there was a proposal to begin with from the Department of Transportation. Di ba? It took somebody from an outsider, basically, from doing this traffic plan. Imbis na sa umpisa pa lamang, naglalabi na dito yung DOTR, ito, kasi wala naman pala talaga na plano. Ayun yung, ano or hindi sinusundan yung talagang plano. Kasi biglang ngayon, pumasok kayo at saka lang biglang merong napresenta dito. 'Di ba? Yun naman talagang ang ating dati pang sinasabi. Um, Chairman Lim.
Yes, Your Honors. Mukhang nauna yung Transport Management Plan kesa sa Traffic Management Plan. Yung Traffic Management Plan addresses the nitty-gritty of the whole picture. For the information of the body, meron po tayong study kinakandak ng JICA, makikipagtulungan ng MMDA, which started March of this year. And they have identified mga more than 300 choke points all over Metro Manila. So isa-isa yan po, isa-isa yan tututukan, bibilangin yung mga sasakyan, and then eventually the product would be a comprehensive plan. As I've said, nitty-gritty, talagang for every choke point may plano. So ongoing pa po yan. I'm siguro abutin pa ng mga almost a year. So yun po ang hinihintay natin. Of course, may mga ginagawa tayo, band-aid solutions. Ang problem naman kasi, every time we come up with this proposal, nagkakaroon ng problema. Itong provincial bus ban, napag-usapan ito last time, si GM Jojo Garcia was cited for contempt ng court. Kaya hindi ko alam kung ipagpapatuloy po ba natin yung pagdidiscuss natin sa provincial bus ban na yan. So, yan po ang kwan. But meron pong ongoing study ang JICA.
I think that Senator Tolentino is just a manifestation about one of your statements.
Chair, if the basis for the contemptuous actuations of GM Jojo Garcia is delivering a statement before this committee, the court has no power to declare you in contempt because anything you say here is none of the business of the judicial branch. So you better get hold of the MMDA lawyer to take note of that. Other than perhaps you declaring something outside of these proceedings against the proceedings conducted by the RTC judge in Quezon City, wala kang pananagutan doon, GM Jojo Garcia.
Sir, thank you for hearing that. Kaya nga, nag-ano na yung lawyer namin
So you file
ng
a
OSP.
motion to lift your contempt?
Show cause. Sir, lawyer. Sir, lawyer.
Madam Chair, we recognize the lawyer of MMDA.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Senator. Good morning, Madam Chair. For the information of the committee.
Unless you want to get an instant GCTA, that would be facilitated by this committee. Go ahead, with your permission.
The action was only for the general manager to show cause whether or not he would be cited for contempt. He already filed their answer invoking the same grounds as consistent with the advice of the Senate committee, and we are waiting for the resolution, sir.
Thank you for the clarification, Senator Recto.
Just a last point, Madam Chair. Yung gusto ko lang malaman, yung provincial bus ban ba kasama yun sa plano rin? It's part of it. Engineer Santiago?
No, but there were plans on rationalization of the routes
On the routes.
and the establishment of mode interchange areas.
But it was not part of the plan. Not specifically. Okay. So why not have in the future a presentation of this dream plan? Okay. Where we are today, how long will it take to do a catch-up if necessary? And what needs to be amended if there should be an amendment to the plan? Kung outdated na yung some of them, why not have that discussion so that lahat tayo may buy-in dito sa planong ito and we can implement it. Because we did a rough calculation, it would cost about 135 billion yearly for 2,000 by 2035 for a 2.6 trillion budget. Palagay ko kaya ng gobyerno natin yan kung yun ang halaga based on the budgets of the DOTR and the DPWH. Not to mention, we could undertake PPP projects, just like the MRT-7, the Bulacan Airport, and many others. Diba? So pwede ipatupad kung yun ang halaga. Ang mahalaga dito, yung institutions not, number one, ang mahalaga, do we all agree with that plan to begin with? And can we implement it? So today, yung traffic cost natin is roughly what? 3.5 billion a day? Ganun kalaki? 30% of GDP sa isang taon? At palaki ng palaki? Mas malaki pa yung gasto sa traffic kaysa implement natin yung plano. Mas mura para sa atin ma-implement yung plano kaysa panatiliin natin yung sistema ngayon na 30% of GDP ang potential na nawawala. Ganun kalaki yun. Murang ipatupad yung planong to if you compare to the opportunity cost today. So that's all, Madam Chair, and thank you for the opportunity.
Secretary Tugade and then Attorney Inton. Secretary.
Maraming salamat po, Madam Chair. Let me try to put in sync the dialogue conversation going on. Number one po, in relation to the transportation infrastructure roadmap, DOTR po yan. Meron pong master plan yan. Ito po yung ginawa ng JICA. Ito po yung redefine ng NEDA. Sinusundan po namin yan. Meron pong traffic management plan. Ito po yung sa MMDA. Ito po, katulong din ho yung JICA. Nabanggit ho kanina, hindi pa tapos yan. Although it is two separate plans, they must necessarily be in sync. But what is the reality? May kanya-kanyang mandato po yan. Hiwalay po yung MMDA sa DOTR. Kumbaga, wala pong say ang DOTR sa MMDA. Hindi po kabahagi ng DOTR ang MMDA. Having said that, yung traffic management flow, hindi po sa DOTR yan. Kung meron bahagi yung DOTR, yung LTO at LTFRB lang po yan in relation to licensing, franchises, plate numbers. In relation to enforcement, MMDA po yan, highway patrol, isama nyo na po dyan yung local government. In other words, the scenario will indicate to something to us. And what is that? We need to have a single authority at this point in time to be able to address the problem, the monster that is EDSA. We need that single authority. For the moment, for want of better words, it is called traffic SAR. For the moment, because of other suggestions, itinuturo ho sa kagawaran ng transportasyon yan na pwede namang ibigay ng Pangulo yan sa MMDA o kung kani-kanino. Having said that, kailangan ho natin yan. Ngayon po dun sa issue ng bus terminal, nasa master plan ho yan ng Department of Transportation Roadmap. Ito yung paggawa ng mga terminal, bus terminal na world class that can be interoperable and intermodular with other modes of transportation. Yun lang po, Madam Chair.
Attorney Inton.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. 2 points po, yung narinig ko po kay Senator Tolentino that I think we have to address this problem to the Senate. Na-mention niya po yung dispatch and Commonwealth. Alam niyo po, yung Commonwealth, the whole of Commonwealth, that stretch coming from SM Fairview until probably after Sandigan Bayan, pagka rush hour po dyan, ang mga pasahero po dyan, napakarami po. No? Siguro it will only rival the opening day of all FPJ movies. Ganun po kadami. No? I have here some pictures that we have taken, and I would like to share them with the senators. Yung panahon po na MMDA chairman si Senator Tolentino, nagkaroon nga po ng dispatching dito sa Robinson. Yan po ay tapat ng SM Fairview. So, dinidispatch po dyan yung mga buses. So, yun, nagkaroon po ng ganitong problema. Inatasan po tayo ni Mayor Joy Belmonte to look into the problem. Bakit libo-libong pasahero hindi makasakay sa Commonwealth at umu-occupy na ng 4 na lanes that cause traffic from all the... Because Commonwealth, pag hindi natin na-solusyonan to, this will be the next EDSA tong Commonwealth, kahit ganun kalapat. So, nakita po natin yung problema. Unang nakita po natin yung mga buses coming from the dispatching terminal. Pagdating po ng Commonwealth, punong-puno na yung mga buses. Chance passenger na lang po yung libo-libong nakapila doon. Hindi po makasakay yun. So, bakit? Kasi po yung mga nanggagaling ng Caloocan at San Jose del Monte, libo-libo na rin doon na sasakay po yun, kaya yung mga bus, pagdating ng Commonwealth, wala na, punuan na yon. So I talked to MMDA, to GM Jojo. Sabi ko, partner, kailangan ko ng at least 30 buses that will be dispatched directly to Commonwealth nang walang laman. Para sa ganon, meron masakyan kagad yung tao. It worked, no? Pero gatiting. Because 30 multiplied by 50 would probably be only about 1,500 passengers. Eh, ang dami po nun. My estimate, that's about 50,000. That is the emergency, Madam Senator. Na kung, okay, andyan po yung mga plano natin ng mass transportation, pero araw-araw po, nagiging kultura na ng ating mga mananakay, what I describe as zombie mentality. Sinasalubong na po nila yung mga bus. Sinasalubong nila yung mga public utility vehicles. In fact, marami doon na mga jeep, out of line na po. Pero wala tayong magagawa eh. Walang masakyan ng tao. No? Ganun po karami.
Anong solusyon po? Anong dapat gawin ng
Well,
MMDA?
ang amin pong suggestion, no? Kasi po, ito, yung dispatching po, maganda naman yung dispatching, Senator. Pero sa traffic dun sa Regalado Avenue, na from Regalado until Doña Carmen, which is probably only about a few kilometers, 1 oras na po yun. Kaya nasisira yung dispatch ng galing sa Robinson. Kaya yung rush hour po sa Commonwealth, yung pasahero ng 4 o'clock, na libo-libo, nagpapang-abot yun alas 5, alas 6, kaya nagkakaroon ng ganun karami. Kaya nga po, Senator, if you had time, tingnan niyo po talaga yung kondisyon nun. Kaya nga, kung dito po nag-uusap tayo ng emergency power, this is a real emergency. Commonwealth Avenue. At yung mga pasahero, ma'am, if I may, may iba kinakausap ko, bakit, ano ba sasakyan nyo? Ganito po ang sabi, sasakay po kami ng jeep papuntang Alimon. Papuntang Cubao, jeep. Pero yung mga out of line yun, from Cubao Arayat, they will walk all the way from that point to Ortigas. Dahil dun sila nagtatrabaho. Ganun kasama ang sitwasyon. Kaya, Senator, sana po makita niyo po, I will accompany you, Senator Francis, alam niyo to. Kung meron po tayo sana ma-address ngayon, ito pong ganitong problema. Because all of us here wanted to help the passengers. Pero hinihintay po natin yung mga MRT, ganyan. Oo, pero araw-araw po talaga na ang ating po mga passengers, mga commuters, nagsasuffer po.
Kailangan ng emergency powers para magawa yan?
Well, I don't know what kind of
Okay,
power. What
ano
I
bang
said is
kailangan
that
nyo? More buses there?
there is an
deployed?
emergency, ma'am. I don't think a power would, kung yung power, kung anong klaseng power dito, pero ang tingin ko lang po,
Okay.
kailangan ng public transportation na
Okay,
mas marami.
so kailangan maraming buses sa oras na takda doon sa lugar na yon.
Opo.
Pero kulang.
Kulang po
So
talaga
sino
kasi,
ang may kapangyarihan para magpadala ng
Senator,
buses
ganito
doon?
po, no? Kanina sabi, there are 4,600 city buses on paper. Pero nakakabiyahe ba yung 20% yan during coding days? So you less 20 already. Ilan yung walang driver dyan? Ilan yung nasa mekaniko? So yung talagang actually na bumabiyahe yung city buses as very much less than the 4,600. No? Kasi may 20% na coding. Mga driver wala. Kaya pagka nakita nyo, ma'am,
Sige,
talagang kulang.
Attorney, thank you for calling our attention to
Apo,
that.
salamat po.
Let's try to solve it now. Senator Recto has a question.
Hearing you, is your recommendation to lift the number coding for public transport vehicles?
Yung pong nasa LTFRB po ako, I suggested that already. But, Senator Tolentino, sabi niya, madadagdagan yung, no? Sana ngayon, maging open na po tayo. Ang akin pong, compromise sa MMDA, we leave it during rush hour only. That time of 6 to 10, natin, kasi makaka-turn around na yan, marami po tayong masasakay. Ngayon, pag sabi, we will be adding 20% buses. Doesn't matter. Ganun din traffic din po eh.
Actually, alam mo, yung pag-iintay ng UV Express, yung pag-iintay ng buses, yun ang nagiging problema. Would you consider LTFRB or kung anumang ahensya to lift the coding system
Rush
for
hour.
rush hour for public utility vehicles like buses and a UV Express?
Okay, ma'am. Actually, ma'am, yun talaga ang target namin. Sabi nga namin, ang public service, kailangan walang coding yan. The problem is, it's not the number of buses. We have 4,600 around, the city bus. It's more than enough sa mga passengers. The problem is, ang tagal lang ng turnaround because of traffic. No? Because of traffic. Kasi, like yung mga bus na galing ng Fairview yan, dadaan ng EDSA at pumunta Alabang bago makabalik. It takes time. Kasi nga, sa traffic. That's why yung idea nga namin, na paluwigin ang yellow lane para mas mabilis ang city bus. After natin mapaluwag ang yellow lane yan, we will leave the coding ng mga buses. But now, kung idadagdag mo pa yung additional 800 sa kalsada natin sa EDSA, during rush hour, hindi na po tatakbo talaga yan.
Madam Chair, just baka makatulong to sa ating magkaroon ng pag-asa yung ating mga mananakay.
Yes.
Alam natin sasama pa to hanggang Pasko. Dahil bare months na to. But yung NLEX-SLEX connector road, kailan matatapos ba yan?
Sir, first quarter of next year.
So, hindi December this year?
No, sir. Ito, sir, DPWH, sir.
Maybe find out from DPWH na meron nakapag-ulit sa akin by December daw, nasa Bonifacio na yan. Matatapos ba yan ng December hanggang Bonifacio?
There are segments na bubuksan, sir, pero the whole NLEX SLEX
Hindi,
connector,
hanggang Bonifacio, dire-diretso na ba yan by December this
ang
year?
target of first quarter of next year.
When you say first quarter, what month?
March ho.
March. So March, connected na ang SLEX at NLEX.
Yes, sir, that's the commitment of MNTC.
Okay? And ilan kotse mababawas sa EDSA dahil dyan?
Yung computation nila, mga 100,000.
Ilan ngayon ang dumadaan sa EDSA?
I think
400,
almost 300,000.
300.
410,000 a day.
Okay, so 1/4 ang mababawas. So, we can see that next year, by March, pag natapos tong proyektong ito, kung pinabibilisan natin matapos yung proyektong ito, nung araw pa, malaking iluluwag ng EDSA at ng C5. Tama?
Tama po. Kakibat din ho yung Skyway
Kaya
project.
malaki ang solusyon sa problema ng trapiko natin, mas malaki dito, yung infrastructure kaysa yung pagpaplano-plano ng mga traffic management kasi.
Opo, yun po ang kasama sa infrastructure development po.
So pangalawa, ito matagal ko na lagi sinasabi. Okay? Pangalawa, yung support area papunta sa NLEX, SLEX Connector Road, kailan matatapos yun?
Ito po yung Harbor Link.
Yes.
Binuksan na ho hanggang C3, pero yung rampa po
Connection hanggang sa taas.
hanggang R10, first quarter din ho, earlier than the
Sa March yun.
earlier than March ho.
Earlier.
Ano lang ho tapos na ho yung C3 ramp, yun na lang ho R10.
Okay? So, ilan naman ang mababawas na sasakyan dyan?
Siguro mga 30 to 40,000.
30 to 40,000 mababawas naman dyan. Aakit na lahat yun.
Opo.
Luluwag din yung trapiko doon.
Yes po, yun po ang...
Now, moving forward, ano pa yung naka-line up sa inyo sa DPWH? Yung C6.
Ang C6 ho, nasa pipeline din ho yan, kasama riyan. Pero
Nag-umpisa na ba tayo dyan?
meron na hong inumpisan, pero yung ano pa lang, I think
Malayo pa tayo.
kumakuha pa sila ng sa TRB yata.
I'm sorry?
Sa TRB ho yata may kukunin pa yata sa...
So, malayo pa tayo doon.
Medyo malayo pa ho yun.
But yan, kailangan madaliin na rin yan. Then we will be able to solve the traffic more or less in EDSA, in C5, and in many others pag natapos tong NLEX, SLEX, pero babalik ulit yan dahil dadami yung mga sasakyan. Kaya tuloy-tuloy dapat yung transport plan natin, di ba?
Tama po yun, sir.
Okay? So C6 is another one. And of course, yung mga railway system naman natin. Di ba?
Opo, sa DOT.
Mula Legazpi hanggang La Union, kung kaya.
Tama po yun.
Tama? Yan ba kasama yan sa mga plano ng DOTR at ng DPWH?
As far as DPWH kasama ho at kakaibat na ho
Are
natin
you
ang
involved in any railway projects ang DPWH?
Hindi po, DOTR lang po.
DOTR lang yan. Pagkakalsada kayo.
Opo.
Okay? I'd like, with the permission of the chair, just one last. I think my good friend Yusek Benny wanted to say something earlier. I did work with him in NED, and I think he's the one thinking of the railway systems in DOTR. Could you comment on some of the points we raised earlier, and you might want to add on to our discussion here? Yes, please.
With the permission of the Chair. Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Senator Recto. I just wanted to give an update on the Metro Manila Transport Roadmap. It was just recently updated, and the results of the updating was presented to the NEDA Board's Committee on Infrastructure about 2 months ago. It's now for refinement, and it will be finally submitted to the NEDA Board for its confirmation. And as Secretary Tugade earlier said, we have been following the recommendations made on the 2012 Metro Manila Transport Roadmap and the updated Transport Roadmap, which was presented about 2 months ago to the NEDA Board Committee on Infrastructure. As a matter of fact, Madam Chair, Mr. Senators, the National Transport Policy that was adopted by the NEDA Board in 2017 emanated from the Transport Roadmap. And concurrently, I'd like to inform the body that there is an ongoing preparation of a Philippine Transport System Master Plan. The preparation is being spearheaded by the National Economic and Development Authority as the executing agency, and who has engaged the services of the consultants to formulate a Philippine Transport System Master Plan. It's now in the final stage of review, and we hope we can present that to the Senate as well. Now, in the case, for example, of the railway, DOTR on its own is now undertaking a business case or a pre-feasibility study of extending the north-south commuter or the railway that will currently end in Clark all the way to the Cagayan Valley region. So as soon as the results of the pre-feasibility studies or business case, we will immediately commence the conduct of the detailed feasibility study for the potentially feasible sections. And concurrently, Madam Chair, Mr. Senators, there is an ongoing study of the spur line to Cabanatuan from the North Line and to San Jose City in Nueva Ecija. The study is ongoing. And concurrent with that, in order to address also congestion, there is another ongoing study to establish a north and south dry port to decongest the Port of Manila. This will transfer most of the container in the Port of Manila in the north, which they are looking in Balagtas, and in one in the south, so that Metro Manila or the ports in Manila will be decongested. Those are the current efforts of the department together with the other agencies of government, Mr. Senator.
So soon enough, you will be able to present this to the committee,
Yes, Mr.
all these
Senator.
plans,
Yes,
so that
Mr.
we can
will
all
be glad.
plan accordingly, di ba?
Yes, we will be glad to do that, Mr.
And then maybe we should be able to communicate. By following this plan, we could communicate with our commuters, yung everyday na nahihirapan sa trapiko sa Metro Manila, sa EDSA, so on and so forth, na masabi natin sa kanila, 100 tulog na lang, halimbawa, 2 tulog na lang, 2 tulog na lang, maayos na ang sistema. Dapat ganun eh. Dapat may communication plan din tayo eh.
Yeah, I agree, Mr. Senator. As a matter of fact, there are other ongoing unsolicited proposals on mass transit system that are being evaluated by the DOTR in the NEDA. One is on the along C5. They call it C5 MRT 10 line. That will start in UP, in Commonwealth, and then all the way to NAIA 3.
So, but okay, thank you for that. So, but what is clear is that by March next year, tapos na yung NLEX-SLEX Connector Road, tapos na yung Harbor Link Road, 100,000 mahigit na vehicles ang mababawasan sa EDSA. O dapat isama na ng MMDA sa pagpaplano nila yan. Naluluwag na rin, di ba? At ma-communicate yan at bilisan natin yung pagsasaayos ng MRT3 siguro para lalong magamit ng mga kababayan natin yung MRT3. Yun nga pala, kailan ba matatapos yung MRT3? What is the status of MRT3 in EDSA?
Madam Chair, Mr. Senator, last May 1 of 2019, we handed over MRT3 for rehabilitation by Sumitomo and Mitsubishi Heavy. Full rehabilitation works will be completed in 26 months, that is by July 2021, but gradually between May 2019 and July 2021, you will see a movement from 15 to 20 operational train sets, from a headway of 7.5 to 10 minutes down to 3.5 minutes, and passengers of 300 to 600,000.
Well, you know, taon-taon naririnig namin yan. No? Not only under this administration, but the previous as well. Okay? So, why don't you put those timelines, submit it to the committee? Kailan magagawa yan? So, you said 26 months, tapos na. But in the meantime, you mentioned, may improve din nyo by ilan bagon ngayon? 15? And by when na 20 na yung bagon?
By July 2021, Madam Chair,
So nothing between now and in between?
Gradual po, between now and July 2021, from 15 to 20.
Why don't you give us a timeline? What about May next year?
Mr. Chair, for example, speed will increase from the current 30 kilometers per hour to 40 kilometers per hour by the 9th month following May 2019.
And how will that help? How will that help? Ay, paliwanag natin, marami nakikinig sa atin eh. Oh.
Madam Chair, Mr. Senator,
Bibilisin takbo.
Capacity.
Yes?
capacity po is improved not just by the number of trains but also by the operating speed of the trains. Currently, we are operating po at only 30 kilometers per hour because of the degraded condition of our tracks. 2 months ago, Mr. Senator, the full replacement tracks for MRT3 have arrived in the Port of Manila, and we are going to begin replacement works by...
So this is my point. Bumili tayo ng bagon, hindi naman pala natin rin-replace yung truck. So yung mga bagon nandun lang nakatenga. Ngayon rin-replace natin yung truck, hindi natin magamit yung bagon. Tama? Yun doon nagkaroon ng problema ang pagpaplano ng DOTR. I'm not saying you. I'm not saying the secretary dahil binili yung bagon, dati pa yun eh. Hindi naman kayo yun eh. Diba? So, can you imagine kung dali-dali magbigay tayo ng emergency power at pag nagkamali kayo, mas malaki ang problema ulit. Di ba? Kaya kailangan may plano tayong sinusundan eh.
Ano nga yung mga
So,
original
it is
proposal?
sequential. This plan should be sequential. Una dapat ayusin yung truck bago ilagay yung bagon, di ba? Parang ganun dapat yun eh. So the entire master plan should be done sequentially. Kailangan may matapos muna bago natin gawin ito. Di ba? So, clearly, yung mass transit system natin, malaki may tutulong yan. Ngayon, one last point, Madam Chair. Yung sinasabing subway, kailan ba talaga umpisahan yan?
Mr. Chair, the subway is 35 kilometers, 15 station system. Meron po tayong inumpisahan na konsepto dun sa subway, yung tinatawag po na partial operability section. Ito po ay policy direction po ni Secretary Tugade. Meron po tayong initial phase, yung unang 7 out of 35 kilometers or 3 out of 15 stations. Na-award na po natin yung design-build contract noong February of 2019. JICA funded po ito, design-build contract. So mula po nung Pebrero ng taong ito hanggang Oktubre po, ginagawa po nila yung detailed engineering designs. And by November, December po, mag-uumpisa na po yung tinatawag nating construction or permanent works for partial operability po by 2022. We're pushing po for 2022.
So November, December, this year, mag-uumpisa ang construction activity.
Yes po.
And you're saying that hopefully by 2022, 7 kilometers ang operable. Parang gano'n.
Yes po, Mr.
Diba? Okay. So,
Before we go to Congressman Sarmiento, Senator Recto, just for the information of the body, if the MRT is able to add 7 trains from its present average of 13 trains, running to have 20 trains running during peak hours, which is more or less the goal. If a train can carry 1,182 passengers, and there are 7 added trains to the current 13 running trains, and these 7 trains can make 3 loops during 3 rush hours, about an additional 25,000 commuters along EDSA will be carried by MRT. One direction, which is currently being carried by about 417 buses. So about 25,000 passengers with additional 7 trains and about the capacity of 417 buses. Kaya hindi dahil sa pinag-iinitan natin masyado ang train system, pero yan kasi yung mass transit na kailangan natin para mabawasan. Sino ba naman ang gugusto na sumakay sa kotse kung mas mabagal yon at mabilis ang train, di ba? So kung gusto natin talaga maibsan ng traffic, ayusin natin yung mass transport, yung ating mga train system. And yun nga ang sinasabi ko, yung nandyan na sana ay yung mga trains na galing sa Dalian, kung tumatakbo din yon. Congressman Sarmiento.
Madam Chair, thank you so much. Ulitin ko lang po, Madam Chair. I'm working closely with Yusek Park Secretary Tugade. Pinaka-importante, Madam Chair, really is the support of the bus and the train working hand in hand. Now, this will become a very efficient mass public transportation system, double cup, and people will start believing really that people, the commuting public, kumikilos na po. Ang pinakamadali, Madam Chair, talaga is the dedicated lane for the bus, right beside the MRT 3. Sa tingin ko, ito po pinaka-logical, maliit na pong gastos. Kung anong excess na tao rito kay MRT3, of the same infrastructure, bababa lang po sila, andyan po si bus with a dedicated lane. Maliit lang po gastos. This was suggested already by MMDA. Barriers lang po ito, tatakbo si bus. By the time, parang magandang regalo po sa tao, maniniwala po sila. Because again, Madam Chair, we cannot introduce any infrastructures pag overcapacity pong kalsada.
Congressman Sarmiento, as I said, okay, alam mo, nabanggit ko nga, nung ako'y tinatanong, na parang ine-eksperimentohan tayong lahat. Siguro wala na talaga tayong magawa kung hindi subukan kung ano man ang maaaring maging solusyon. Hindi natin sinasabi na magiging tama, hindi ko rin naman kayo pwedeng sabihan na kasalanan ninyo kung hindi ito gumana, paano natin malalaman kung hindi nga natin susubukan. Pero, GM Garcia, yung kaso ba na nasa korte ngayon na nagpipigil dun sa implementasyon ninyo ng solusyon para sa mga provincial buses, kailan ba yun magkakaroon ng conclusion?
Lawyer. Sir, yung lawyer ko na, sir.
Okay.
Mahirap na.
Madam Chair, depende po yun sa korte kung i-resolve na po nila yung
Ano ba, ngayon ba scheduling ang problema?
Sila po ang judge po ang nag-schedule, Madam Chair, kung kailan po yung...
Hindi ba tayo pwede mag-apela para mabilisan yung kaso?
Sir, ma'am, si Chairman Chuck umattend nung last hearing kasi...
O sige, Chairman Delgra.
Abogado rin siya.
We actually have prepared for this hearing when we met with MMDA and DPWH as regards the case pending before the RTC of Quezon City. And we have asked our State Council, OSG, to expedite the resolution of our motion for reconsideration to the TRO that was issued. So we would hope that OAG would actually file perhaps a motion to expedite so that we will push this forward.
Ay, alam mo, hindi dapat, we would hope, ay, tawagan na natin ulit ang OSG na gawin ko anong nararapat sa kanilang kapangyarihan para mas mapabilis sana ito. Kasi kung hindi ko sinasabing ito yung tama, ha, pero para mapatunayan kung tama ba ito o mali. Kasi marami rin, alam mo, maraming nagre-reklamo din sa aking mga kababayan natin na talagang nahirapan din sila doon sa naging pagpapatupad dito, lalo na yung mga tiga-probinsya.
Ma'am, siguro it will really help us, no? If even the Senate can make a resolution, even for the dry run, just to support our case. Yeah, for the committee to in support for, kasi we cannot really see or say if kung hindi maganda to or what ano pagkukulang unless we try it.
Well, again, even a resolution in the Senate will not be able to dictate the resolution of the courts, di ba?
Yes, ma'am.
Also, but anyway, Chairman Lim.
Yes, yes ma'am. Itong planong ito naman, hindi naman natin ito kinuha out of thin air. Talagang pinag-aralan naman talaga ito. As early as 2012, pinag-uusapan na ito nung panahon pa ni President Noynoy. Pero yun na nga, kahit gaano kaganda, kung nakita natin sa papel na pwede, maganda, we'll never know pagka yung on the ground kung talagang i-implement na natin ito. So kailangan talaga na matest natin. And then makita kung okay, then mabuti. Kung talagang may problema, then ayusin natin yung
So makikinig
problema.
naman kayo sa feedback, di ba? Ayan naman talaga ang ano.
Kung aaminin po natin na talagang may kulang pa ito, but importante talaga na ma-test run natin ito.
Sige.
One question, if I may,
Sure.
before I leave, because I have to attend to another hearing on the salary standardization law. Doon sa provincial bus ban, Ito yung sasabi, subukan natin. Hindi ba common sense will dictate na yung galing sa probinsya, doble ang sakay nila, may hirapan sila?
Sir, actually, I explained it last meeting. Sir, yung, ewan ko, merit na naman yung case, I don't know, no? Pero nandiyan na yan. I will, sasagutin po yung tanong nyo. Yung tungkol dun sa dodoble ang sakay, sir, as you explained ko nga last hearing, all these passengers, no, pagdating sa terminal yan, lilipat din yan eh. Hindi nila final destination ang terminals. So, kumbaga, yung mga interim terminals natin, pagbaba nila, lilipat din yan eh. So, pinaaga lang natin yung lipat nila. And last term, it's not all about traffic
So,
talaga.
dadami yung sakay nila, hahaba yung oras nila,
Sir,
at
no.
malaki ang mas lalaki ang gastos
Sir,
nila.
no,
Hindi
sir.
ba tama yun?
Sir, no. Una, sir,
Siguro
hindi
yun ang dahilan kung bakit nga tiniyaro ng Supreme Court eh.
I don't know, sir. Yeah, no, sir, hindi Supreme Court, sir, RTC.
O the RTC,
Yes, sir.
sorry.
Anyway,
yes.
sir, ayoko nang, yung,
Yes.
I don't want to talk about the case, no, pero naka-MR na kami. The point here, sir, hindi lang naman talaga it's all about traffic. Eh. Sabi ko nga last hearing, we have close to 97 terminals in Metro Manila, no, provincial terminals. Hindi naman pwede, sabi ko nga, na ang operator may pera, bibili ng lupa, gagawing terminal. Parang kabutihan kahit saan may terminal. So, ang DOTR po talaga, direksyon nila, is i-integrate yan ng 4 or 5 big terminals. Kasi kahit saan kahit pa paano yung tignan, hindi pwedeng kahit saan may terminal, sir. So,
okay,
yes, ma'am.
that's a point well taken. Napakaraming terminals talaga sa main thoroughfares. Pero gusto kong tanungin, Secretary Tugade, ano na nangyari sa FTI? Di ba na-award na yan? Dapat dyan may babaan din. Tapos dun sa North, ano nang nangyari?
Una ho, yung sa FTI, meron ho mga pinag-uusapan dyan na right of way sa infrastruktura. Ipapasa ko ho mamaya sa ating USEC para mapabigay yung kwan.
So right of way pa rin.
Ah,
Tapos may pa rin tayo
Connectivity
binabayaran.
ho ang pinag-uusapan.
Okay.
Connectivity na kung saan merong involved na mga private property po dyan. Doon po sa
Right of way
norte,
na.
nag-uusap po kami. Meron lang ho isang provision doon na pinag-uusapan na kung saan gusto ho nilang exclusivity. Hindi ho naman ako pumapayag na exclusivity at a certain area. Because ako ho naniniwala sa economic forces dictating the business rather than yun lang po ang pinag-uusapan. Yung sa inumpisano sa PITXO dito sa Parañaque, para masabi na lang ho sa komite, ang ridership na ho dyan na nakinabang sa PITX, pumapalo na ho ng 13 million. Yung sa umpisa ho na nahirapan tayo noon, na meron mga issue tungkol sa koneksyon, sa additional na plete o pamasahe, na-address na ho yun.
Naayos na, lalo na kung yung LRT1 matapos, di ba?
Yes, sir.
Di ba dadaan
Yes,
doon?
yes, ma'am.
Yun talaga yung plano
May
po.
connectivity po doon. Ito ho yung sinasabi nating interconnectivity at intermodality.
O sige, pa-update naman po doon sa FTI. Ano bang right of way problem natin dyan? Ang tagal na yan eh.
Ma'am, meron lang ho akong sasabihin
Opo.
in relation sa mga kwan.
Sige po.
Alam niyo, doon sa FTI, nung pumasok po kami, merong provision dyan na kung saan magbabayad pa yung gobyerno ng tinatawag na annual grantors fee amounting to more than 200 million a year for a period of 35 years. Inayawan ko yun, and I negotiated with that. Nasabi ko, this is onerous on the part of government. So it took a time na kung saan nag-negotiate ko kami na sinabi ko, hindi ko ho itutuloy yung kontrata kung hindi magkakaroon ng agreement. Ito ho yung nakadagdag sa antala. There were months of negotiations and until, yung proponent, pwede ko bang sabihin yung proponent, Ayala po, nag-agree po, nakita nila na pumayag naman sila na wala na yung babayaran na 200 million, more than 200 million a year for the next 35 years as annual grantors fee. In addition to that, ma'am, sabi ko, I'm not yet done with that. I want a share of your gross revenue on the retail mall operations. initially humingi ako ng 5%, but after negotiation, pumayag naman ho sila na 2 or 3%. I'm not sure of my number now. So, with that contract ho, doon sa FTI, nabago ho, kaya nakadagdag ho sa antala yon. Kasi negotiate ho namin na itigil yung annual grantors fee.
Okay, teka muna, Sec Tugade. Maganda yung inisyatibo ninyo, no, na hindi tayo nalalamangan. Yung grantors fee na yon, sino po ang pumasok sa kasunduan na yan? Sinong secretary?
Sila, ano, yung pinalitan ko po. Sila,
Okay.
Secretary Andaya po yata.
Andaya?
Abaya.
Andaya.
I'm sorry.
Abaya. Okay. Ngayon, yung grantors fee,
Dalawa po
binibigay-
yan na merong annual grantors fee.
At saka,
Yung nandoon ho sa Parañaque, inayawan ko rin ho yung annual grantors fee.
okay,
Sabi ko,
so paano ngayon? May grantors fee sila kasi sila yung magpapatayo ng struktura. Parang ganon. Yun yung bayad ng gobyerno di umano. Pero sinasabi ninyo, hindi natin kailangan bayaran yan sapagkat kikita naman kayo dyan. Tama ba? Oo. So, ngayon, siguro dapat gumawa rin ng aksyon ng DOTR. Nakasuhan, kung sa tingin nyo naniniwala kayong disadvantageous to the government, yung pinasok nilang kontrata, kasi hindi matututo yung mga susunod na kalihim kung wala din accountability. Ano na ngayon ang status? Yung right of way pa rin ang problema?
opo, ipasa ko lang ma'am, Madam Chair, yung detalye
Sige.
dyan.
Bakit right of way? Anong naging problema sa right of way?
Madam Chair, yung FTI po kasi, it will require a connection from the Skyway. Magkakaroon ng 4 na rampa, pababa, papunta dun sa FTI property area, para yung mga bus natin will be connected to this FTI terminal. Ngayon po, it's a different project. It's being spearheaded by DPWH. Si DPWH po and the TRB is acquiring the properties for those down ramps. It is
So
part...
matagal na itong FTI, di ba? So let's say you started in 2016. Didn't the acquisition occur right after that so that we know that the FTI can be utilized?
Ma'am, yung rampa po kasi, it's part of the C6 SEME project. It's a part of that Southeast Metro Manila Expressway project. And it's a different project altogether.
Okay, sabihin na natin different project, but there has to be an overview. What is the roadblock, literally? Is it the court, again? Meron bang mga kaso na nakabinbin? Pera ba? Dahil alam ko may pera naman tayo for the right-of-way acquisition. So ano yung nagiging delay po?
Specifically po, ang budget po for right-of-way acquisition, yun po yung kailangan ng gobyerno para ma-push yung pag-acquire ng properties.
Hindi ba nasama, hindi na-approve yun sa mga budget?
If I can refer lang kay TRB chairman po natin para mabigay yung numero na kailangan for right-of-way.
At hindi ito hiningi nung nakaraang budget? Hindi po.
Sa DPWH po yung right of way. Sabihin ko lang po yung nakadelay sa project na to, no? Unang-una po, yung section 1 po ginagawa na ngayon, actually. Nag-start na po dun sa C5. Kung may makikita po kayong mga crane doon, ginagawa na po yon. Ang nakadelay po dito, yun po kasing mga ibang poste nito, yung malapit po dun sa right of way ng PNR. Tatamaan po nung subway, kaya isa po yun sa pinag-aralan ulit. Pero naayos na po yun. Ngayon, yun pong isang problema rito, yung unang review po nung appraisal nung section 1 na yan, 22 billion po yung cost po ng right of way. So, saka meron po more than 2,000 na families na taga-tagig na apektuhan. Kaya ang naging solusyon po dyan, kinausap po natin yung apektado na doon sa right of way po, which is yun pong concessionaire din po nung terminal po doon, yung Ayala Land, na pumayag na po na i-donate po yung napakalaki pong lupa nila na apektado.
Pwede magtanong, yan ba kasama sa original plan? Yes.
In the 1970, there was an FTI provincial bus terminal.
Yes.
And,
Dito sa Dream Plan, kasama ba to?
In the first version of the Dream Plan, it was not. But when it was revised, it included it because it was already committed and launched by the Pinoy administration.
So,
There
binago
were-
ng Pinoy, pinilit, na hindi
There-
inisip,
it can-
planuhin na mabuti.
It was included, but it made some sense in rationalization of public transport
Okay.
routes. However, the specific location and the design were subjected to feasibility studies. And I think that's where the deficiency arose. Because when you mentioned that they did not consider that
Correct.
the need for flyover,
Na yung pala, may 22
defective
billion
yung
dagdag,
feasibility
may-
study.
Correct.
That should have planned it correctly.
So, hindi na plano ng mabuti. That's the point. For that specific site. Yun ang sinasabi ko, na yung institutional capability natin. Ha? Katulad kanina, yung nabanggit, it was the previous administration who agreed on this contract. At si Secretary Abay ang pumirma. Anong ginawa ng mga abogado ng DOTR? Ba't yung pinayagan? So, dapat yung institution mismo, hindi pinapayagan yan. And that's what I'm saying. Ang main culprit talaga ay lack of foresight, lack of planning. Or baka pinipilit na gawin natin to dito, may ibang naglalakad, nadadagdagan yung gastos. At sino magbabayad? Taong bayan eh.
Actually, so, Engineer
Dagdag
Sales,
traffic na, dagdag buwis pa. Yan ang problema dyan.
so bayad na lahat ng right of way ngayon, hindi pa rin, may kulang pa tayo para, kasi hindi mag-uumpisa yung FTI terminal kung wala.
Yun pong schedule po nito, base sa latest po na assessment namin, matatapos po itong section 1 that will serve as an access po dun sa terminal by last quarter po ng 2021. Ina-adjust po kasi yung about half kilometer of the alignment para iwasan po yung 2,100 families dun po sa tinatawag na FTI use of rock area na nasa Taguig po. Yun po yung pinaka huli pong inaayos po ngayon. Na maayos po siguro yung design within the month. Pero yung construction po tuloy-tuloy na po yan.
So, inumpisa na yung terminal.
Yung terminal po sa DOTR po yun.
Ano yung inuumpisa ninyo?
Yun pong mismong C6.
C6.
Yung
Okay.
section 1 po.
Kasi kanina yun ang tinatanong, sinabi dito, hindi pa nag-uumpisa, di ba? Yung pala, inuumpisahan nyo na.
Meron na pong activities dun sa
Ah.
may board file na po kami nagawa. Naka-siyam na po kami yung gagawin pong poste dun po sa C5 area.
Okay. Attorney Inton, may dadagdag po kayo?
Yes po. Kanina po may mungkahi na to lift the coding, but I think I agree with Jojo that it might be so drastic. Ang suggestion ko lang po, if MMDA could allow the 30 buses to be dispatched directly, doon na mismo sila sa Commonwealth area. Kasi if they will be coming from Robinson, isang oras mahigit bago sila makarating ng Doña Carmen, ano na po nagpang-abot na yung mga pasahero doon.
So, saan sila kukuha ng 30 buses?
Nagbibigay po sila. Meron kasing kaming project na Bayanihan sa Lansangan. MMDA is on board there. We coordinated with Jojo. And then they allotted 30 buses that will come from Robinson sa dispatching area ng walang laman at dun kukuha sa...
Pwede bang
sa
gawin
ano,
natin?
kaya lang,
Eksperimentohan na
problema,
ninyo yan.
Joe, the problem there, Joe, is 1 hour, talagang...
Address the
baka
chair.
pwedeng doon na sila...
Attorney,
Ay, sorry
address
po.
me.
Baka pwede po na MMDA could ask the dispatcher na doon na mismo sa Doña Carmen, yung po sa Commonwealth, para po hindi na ma-traffic coming from Robinson, Fairview, which will take about 1.5 hours.
Okay, MMDA, kaya?
Yeah, ma'am, actually, it's really doable. We're doing it sa MRT right now. No? Yung sa MRT, sa tulong sa MRT, may mga bus augmentation tayo dyan.
Kaya nga, so,
Yes.
just quickly, what's the answer?
Yeah,
Would you
yes,
be able
it's
to-
possible, but we need to check first. Saan pwede pumarada yung bus? Kasi pag pumarada yung bus doon, masikip na ang Commonwealth, baka lalo mag-traffic. So, they need to identify sa natin, na local yan, they need to
Opo,
identify.
meron na po kami na-identify dyan. Doon po sila manggagaling. Doon sa other side. Doon sa Sullivan. Because wala naman traffic yung papuntang Fairview during rush hour. Nandun sila. They will just make a U-turn doon sa harap ng Wilcon, Petron, At nandun na po yun.
Okay, you know what? I appreciate this discussion here, ha? But this is something that you could do without having to be here in plenary to discuss this. So if there was just more coordination, and I don't blame you, I guess this is a learning experience again. Dapat yan, pinakikinggan ninyo si Attorney Inton, yung mga ibang local government, how to solve also their traffic problems within the area. I want to see an effort from the MMDA to at least try that.
Apo,
So,
very helpful naman po sila sa local government. Kaya lang, yun
kaya
po,
lang hindi kayo pinansin.
nagkaroon lang po ng idea because there was a proposal to lift the coding.
Okay, so
we
anyway,
came out with this idea also na baka dito pwedeng gano'n para mabilis.
so this body will request an update from
Apo.
you, okay,
Apo.
to see how the MMDA was able to help you in this
Apo.
particular suggestion, and then
Thank
we'll
you po.
see if it will work. Ngayon ganito, gusto kong tanungin, no, dahil nga may proposal, pag na-lift na yung ban ng korte, ay itutuloy ninyo yung eksperimento tungkol nga dito sa mga provincial bus bans. Gusto kong tanungin yung ating mga bus operators. Willing ba kayo na 100%, ha, magbababa lang kayo sa Santa Rosa at saka sa Valenzuela para patunayan kung kayo ba talaga ang nagdudulot ng traffic? Kasi kung makikita, ha, na doon na kayo nagbaba sa dalawang lugar na yon at traffic pa rin, o kaya nahirapan yung ating mga kababayan, we can rethink the whole scheme without actually implementing yet itong mga suhestyon ng MMDA. Mr. Yage?
Madam Chair, can I ask for Attorney Rondanis to speak for the association? He's
Sige
the
po.
president.
Yes.
Good afternoon po, Madam Chair, Honorable Senators. Actually, the idea crossed our minds a long time ago. It's just that if we do it, can we have an assurance that we will not be prejudiced on the basis of our franchises? Because if we do so, we might be violating our franchises, Your Honor.
Attorney Delgra?
Ang una po kaming nagkita dun sa korte, and we were able to explain our respective points from the point of view of government and from the point of view of the bus operator. And there's not much difference in so far as yung pananaw is concerned, no? In having to address and rationalize our public transportation system. Ang vote nito basically is, do we want 100 or so terminals in EDSA or just a few, 4 or 5 integrated terminal exchanges? Yun lang po ang gusto nating laruin doon. And we appreciate the statement coming from the bus operator na yun ang paningin din nila. Yung assurance po, sinasabi na namin yan dati pa, and we have been si Mr. Alex Yage and the rest, Giovanni, are privy to this assurance that we have been giving them.
Sir, what 4 or 5 terminals are you looking at within EDSA?
We need to take out all those privately managed bus terminals, wherever it is. But
pero saan yung...
we're starting with EDSA. As identified by MMDA, we're talking about 46, mostly located in Quezon City and in Pasay City.
Okay. Yung ating sa Move Manila, meron kayong comment dyan?
Good afternoon po. Ako po si Toy sa Commute. Yeah. Respectfully po sa pag-uusap tungkol sa emergency powers, bilang pagsalag po sa injunction at para pabilisin siguro ang mga proseso, no? Sa usapin ng provincial bus ban, didiretsahin ko po kayo that the injunction was a relief for us kasi kahit anong pag-oppose namin sa panukalang malalayong Santa Rosa at Valenzuela Integrated Terminals, itutuloy, parang ang dating sa amin, itutuloy at itutuloy ang planong to. So, in this discussion, I suppose we ask, is there space for commuters in these emergency powers? How can we be assured that we will be really consulted and our concerns are really addressed? Kasi sa totoo lang, agree din po ako kay Attorney Inton, ang palagay po namin sa commuters, kulang po yung PUV supply. Yun talaga yung rason kung bakit matagal yung aming pag-aantay bago makasakay. And in fact, we think that kung sana magkaroon lang ng pagtanggal ng number coding, kung sana para sa PUVs, kung sana ay yun nga dadagdagan pa yung ating mga PUVs, imbes na maghabol ng mga kolorum ay sana ay pabilisin na yung pag-apply ng mga operators na ito para maging legal sila sa pagbibigay ng serbisyo sa aming commuters, kasi sa totoo lang ang gusto lang namin ay makasakay, makauwi at makapagpahinga na sa mga bahay namin. I suppose we also want to say that sana kapag ka may mga plano, nakukonsulta kami. So, may napag-uusapan dito mga master plan, and to be honest, this is the first time that we've heard of that, and we will try to study it, no, as a coalition para naintindihan din namin yung ano ba ang patutunguhan ng transportation, public transportation, no, so far as commuters are concerned. Sana kasama kami sa mga discussions, because to us, ang important na performance indicators po ng mga government agencies natin, para sa amin ang pinaka-importante po ay waiting time. Kapag ka nagbukas ba ang Valenzuela o Santa Rosa, mababawasan ba ang waiting time? Mababawasan ba yung aming travel time? Mababawasan ba yung cost ng aming travels? At mababawasan ba yung transfers? Yun po, sana po makonsider po yung 4 indicators na yon, because those are the things that matter to us as commuters. Kapag mangyari po yun, naku po, kami po mismo ang susulong sa mga panukala ninyo. Hindi kami kukontra dyan. So yun lang po.
Gusto kong tanungin muna siguro siguro Senator Tolentino, tapos gusto kong marinig ang isang constitutional expert, si Professor De Vera. So, Senator Tolentino is recognized.
Siguro, I reiterate the statements I mentioned a while ago concerning the bus consortium for city buses. And I request Yusek Reynoso, since you mentioned a while ago that you're having the master plan updated right now, that you include that. And for the provincial bus plan of MMDA, take into consideration that the consortium would serve the endpoints of the provincial bus terminals. Babanggitin ko rin dito pahapyaw yung study ko before, Fairview Consortium, which will cover Bagong Silang, San Jose del Monte, San Mateo, etc., Novaliches, NLEX Consortium, etc. So, to assuage the Move Manila, lahat naman po nitong pinag-uusapan natin is about commuters. Kaya tayo magsa-subway is for commuters. Kaya tayo gumagawa ng transport traffic management plan is to serve the commuters. The reason why we're all here is for the commuters. So rest assured that we're working for the commuters. Ganon din siguro ang pag-iisip ni Secretary Tugade. And as I promised, Madam Chair, the study I made several years ago, I'm turning over this to the good chairwoman of this committee, let the records reflect, and one copy for Secretary Tugade, and this will include the EDSA bus operators proposed consortium agreement, Alabang bus operators consortium agreement, Baclaran bus operators consortium agreement. Nandito na po lahat yan. Can I ask the COMSEC to provide Secretary Tugade a copy? Wala na po ako idadagdag, Madam Chair. This is has been a very exhaustive discussion. Alam ko po yung DOTR naghahabol talaga, but yung sa emergency powers, I think we leave it up to the committee to decide whether to grant that emergency powers or not. Pero kung without the emergency powers, I think Secretary Tugade should be on top of everything. Whether your name as the traffic czar or not, ikaw pa rin talaga yon. Hand in hand with the general lim. Maraming salamat, Madam Chair. Enjoy your lunch.
Thank you for your very important contribution to this hearing, Senator Tolentino. Truly, we can learn from this proposal that you've started years ago. I would like to talk to Professor De Vera now with regards to the constitutional implications of an emergency powers.
Maraming salamat po, Madam Chair, at sa committee po. maaari po akong, kung makakatulong po, maaari po ako mag-submit ng position paper tungkol po sa emergency power at dun po sa SBN 213. Pero base po sa talakayan natin ngayong hapon, siguro po tatlo lang na maiksing punto. Yung una po doon ay mahalaga pong alalahanin natin tuwing pinag-uusapan po natin ng emergency power na sa ilalim po ng saligang batas natin, ang maaari po talagang kumilos kahit po meron pang tinuturing ng emergency ay ang Kongreso. At ang pangalawa po doon ay ang ginawa po natin sa ilalim ng saligang batas ay binigyan natin ng pagkakataon na maggawad ang Kongreso sa Pangulo ng emergency power doon po sa mga sitwasyon na hindi po makakakilos ang Kongreso o kinakailangan po ng mas mabilis or agaran na solusyon para dun sa emergency. Kaya po dun sa saligang batas natin, may mga condition po para magkaroon ng grant of emergency powers. Isa na po doon ay ang kailangan po merong malinaw na national policy upang gabayan ang Pangulo at ang kabuuan ng ehekutibo para ipatupad ang polisiya na yon. Pangalawa po, kailangan po limitado lamang ang panahon ng emergency. At pangatlo po, kailangan merong mga specific mga gabay. Kaya po, ang dami ko po natutunan ngayong hapon at ang isa po din ay pangailangan na makita po natin siguro kung ano yung mga plano at kung paano po tutuguran ng mga plano na yon, yung tinitingnan natin at itinuturing natin na emergency hapon, at kung anong mga spesipikong emergency powers ang maaaring igawad upang ipatupad yon. So yung pangatlo po lang na punto, pagsasamahin ko po siya, yung una pong parte nun ay hindi naman po ito ang unang pagkakataon na nag-uusap tayo tungkol sa pag-grant ng emergency powers. Nagawa na po natin ito sa ilalim ng 1987 Constitution. Una na po nung nagkaroon ng coup noong 1989 at may mga sumunod po doon 1993 at 1995 dahil nagkaroon po tayo ng power crisis at water crisis. So marami po tayong maaaring tingnan upang humulma ng emergency powers bill na naaangkop para dun sa nakikita natin na kailangang tugunan. Pero yung kasabay po doon, ang isa ko lang pong observation, and it's a very humble one for this afternoon, ay base lang po dun sa mga napag-usapan natin para may mga bagay po na kaya ng tugunan kahit po wala pong spesipikong emergency powers. Pangalawa po, yung iba po naman pong nabanggit, dalawa po yung aking ni-note, no? Yung isa po ay yung sa right of way, yung difficulty po natin para makakuha ng right of way, kahit po nagbayad na tayo ng 100% ng zonal value, hindi pa rin po lumalabas yung right of possession. At yung pangalawa naman po ay yung lagi po tayong nag-iisip na baka ma-enjoin under an injunction yung ating mga project. Pero meron na po tayong, gaya po ng nasabi natin kanina, meron na po tayong mga batas nandiyan, no? Pero yun po yung kailangan natin masusing tingnan kung sakasakali po na sa emergency power, may mga improvement na pwedeng gawin. So, ang isa lang po doon, halimbawa po yung sa right of way, ang napansin ko po doon sa SBN 213, ang sinubukan niyang tugunan ay kung gaano kabilis matatapos yung negotiated portion ng pagkuha ng right of way. So 30 days po ngayon siya sa batas, doon pa sa SBN 213, 10 days yung proposed. Pero ang isa ko rin pong napansin, hindi naman po pala yun yung ating issue sa right of way. Ang issue po natin sa right of way ay may mga huwes pa rin po tayo na hindi naglalabas ng writ of possession kahit po nakapag-deposito na ng amount. So, ang isa po doon, hindi po natin napag-isapan ngayon, hindi lang naman po sa larangan na ito nagkakaroon ng, parang gusto ko rin po sabihin na may mga huwes po tayo na nauunawaan yung kahalagahan ng mga proyekto natin. So, may isa pong proyekto a few years back, ang DOTC pa noon, na sinubukan po sanang kuhaan ng temporary restraining order, pero hindi po binigay ng korte. Yung korte po noon ay korte sa Mandaluyong. So may mga huwes po tayo nakakaunawa ng kahalagahan ng hindi maglabas ng injunction. Ang isa po maaari nating explore, either po with the help of the Supreme Court or perhaps the Office of the Court Administrator, or the Philippine Judicial Academy, which offers training for judges, is to roll out yung para pong consultation or training in relation to the specific rules that apply when it comes to significant national infrastructure projects. Yung paglabas po ng right-of-way, ng writ of possessions, right-of-way cases, at yun pong kahalagahan na hindi maglabas ng injunctive order.
Professor,
Sorry.
maganda yung sinasabi niyo, marami tayong natututunan dito. Mas malalim ang diskusyon pagdating sa usaping legal. Gusto ko malaman, yung Supreme Court ba, meron ba silang impluensya o kapangyarihan sa lower courts na maglabas ng paalala or memo na nagsasabi pag ito ay national infrastructure projects or has an impact on traffic, ay dapat mas maging mahinahon sila sa pagbibigay ng mga injunction?
Maraming salamat po, Madam Chair. Ang Supreme Court po kasi natin ang may supervision sa lahat po ng lower courts. Hindi rin po ito ang unang pagkakataon na pag-iisipan po nila ito dahil naglabas na rin po ng sariling, bago po na isabatas yung RA 8975 na nagbabawal ng injunction, meron na rin pong guidance ang Supreme Court noon para sa mga lower courts. Kahit po sa mga ibang uri ng mga kaso, naglalabas po ng guidance ang Supreme Court. Hindi ko lang po maalala ngayon kung ano yung mga ibang ahensya, pero may mga iba po tayong ahensya ng gobyerno na nagre-request po either through the Supreme Court or the Philippine Judicial Academy na makapag-offer po ng training sa mga judges para po maunawaan nila yung kung paano po ang pinakamaigi na pagpapalakad ng mga proseso.
In fact, Madam Chair, earlier during the hearing, I read a memo of the Office of the Court Administrator precisely pointing out to these judges that they're supposed to issue the writ of possession once 100% of the value of the property or the zonal value is deposited. And in the course of the hearing, you still can determine the final value, but for purposes of immediately taking possession, the deposit of 100% of the zonal value is sufficient, and it should be immediately issued. Sabi na po ng Supreme Court yan, citing a case. Pero hindi po sinusunod ng mga juez for some mysterious reason. Hindi ko na po masabi kung ano yung rason on the record, but obviously something is happening. And that is why it is not unusual, Madam Chair, your suggestion that maybe the executive branch, the pertinent office, should sit down with the court administrator and tell him, look, what are your judges doing? This is an example of public interest being grossly prejudiced by the misbehavior and of your judges, notwithstanding the very clear directive from the office of the court administrator. This is what is happening on the ground. Something is wrong. You know, these things can be done. There's nothing wrong with it because these are not private matters. These are matters that involve public interest. And I do not know if this is being done, but it should be done if we are using your description. Kailangan tutukan mo talaga ito. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Ms. Hamon, just very quickly.
I'm from Move Metro Manila, and one of the things that yung mga miyembro nito initiated was, just for your information, is actually a survey para matapos ng konti yung usapan tungkol sa mga commuters na talagang reason kung bakit tayo nandito. So the survey actually, this is a month-long survey that the Mobility Coalition conducted August 15 to 31. August 5 to 31. We conducted this survey so that we may fully understand what commuters go through daily as they commute to and from work or school. Ito lang po ang i-report ko dahil marami pang iba, pero this is in line with our need for some evidence of what our people really feel. No? So there were 432 respondents to the survey. 76% of the respondents are youth or aged 18 to 35, 59% are female, 2% are persons with disabilities. And this is the final results of the survey. According to the survey, a regular commuter spends close to 4 hours on the road every day, waits almost an hour to get a ride, transfers twice, and spends 168 pesos daily. So this is the life of the commuter. I hope that sinks in as we continue to talk about possible solutions to an emergency problem. And thank you very much. It was quite an education listening to everyone. Gives us a sense of the real politic in the Philippines. I guess there are lots of ideals. I'm a political scientist and I am 64 years old, retiring next year. No, and many of the people here are my students, staff and all. But
So
one
how
of
will
the
you
things-
grade them?
Huh?
How will you grade your students?
I think we're doing very well as a democracy.
As a
At
democracy.
salamat po na merong media na ang mga ganitong congressional hearings ay pinapakinggan, because you were talking about the need for information. I think the reason why we have committee hearings is so that we can inform the public about what's
Yes.
happening.
Thank you,
And thank you
Professor.
for the candor, the patriotism, and the idealism that continues to inspire us to do this. But let's solve the problem of traffic in favor of the commuters.
Okay. Well,
Yun
I
po ang
sure
message
hope
namin.
it's patriotism for all of us.
I think so.
Thank you,
I think
thank you. One last point before we end. Uh, 1 minute.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. With all the discussions, there is one thing I think that we're missing out. In most modern countries, we already use information technology to help solve traffic. This is done in most big cities like New York, London, Spain, and
Okay,
others.
ma'am. Yes,
Now,
I-
I have submitted to your office samples of these programs and also videos. Probably later on you might be able to watch it and get something out of this. There are even formula that can help calculate really
Okay.
and simulate. Thank you, Madam
very
Chair.
much for submitting that. Secretary Tugade, before I let you go, yung ating NAIA consortium po, alam ko nasa NEDA yan, pero pagka sinabi talaga ng DOTR, kailangan natin yan. Bakit hindi pa na, 2 taon na po yun. Silang gagasta, madadagdagan ng terminal, sila magpapa-operate. Bakit po ang tagal-tagal ng approval?
Kung bakit matagal talagang haka-haka lang sasabihin ko. Pero kami inokay na po namin yon. Nagkaroon po ng mahabang usapan yan pagkat nagkaroon kami ng plataforma na kung saan hanggang kayang ipareho yung template of concession doon sa formula na ginawa namin sa Clark, ginagaya namin. Of course, alam po namin na mayroong pagkakaiba. Kaya nagkaroon yun ng mahabang palitan ng opinion at hanggang nagkaroon ng agreement. Noong nagkaroon ng agreement, Benny, mga 2 months ago,
August 1, sir.
August 1, agarang ibinigay namin sa NEDA po yan. Ako po naniniwala naman na pagka nagkaroon ng collegial meeting na kung saan kami yung magdedepensa ng desisyon na ginawa namin, it can come up with a favorable position on the matter.
Alam niyo po, pagka nagkakaroon naman ng mga meeting, kahit papano kami dito sa Senado, pag nag-uusap-usap kami informally, pwede naman sabihin, oy, pakiunahin mo naman yung gano'n, no? Di ba marami naman lalong-lalo na pag nakikita nila na isa itong priority sa inyo, baka naman bilis-bilisan nila. Di ba? Kasi minsan, konting lambing lang po na para unahin din yung mga bagay na dapat unahin. Okay, so with that, I would like to thank all of our resource today. Recap lang po ng ating pinag-usapan. At the outset of this public hearing, we all agreed that we needed research-based and data-driven proposals to solve traffic. The present crisis is preceded by decades of piecemeal or tingi-tingi planning and implementation. For example, the idea integrated terminals had existed since 2 administrations ago. It was continued in the Aquino administration with the bidding of the PITX and the Taguig ITX, and the PTEX opened only for city terminals in Laguna and Valenzuela to be designated as new provincial terminals. What we need is a transportation system master plan which identifies short, medium, and long-term projects with sufficient funding and achievable deadlines. Moreover, we need implementation, implementation, implementation. I think no other urban area in the world has a longer list of unimplemented plans and decades of study than Mega Manila. We are now making this clear. Our existing laws are sufficient for the purpose of procurement and right-of-way acquisition. The Supreme Court already issued cases and circulars addressing the delays in these cases. Clearly, for all intents and purposes, under these existing laws, a lot could have been done with or without emergency powers. It is not the lack of powers, but the lack of a master plan. We have an approved dream plan, but it is unclear if our transport agencies have adopted it for implementation. The cost to implement the dream plan is less than what we are losing daily due to the traffic problem. Tama si Senator Ralph. Mas mahal pa ang ating nabubuwis sa traffic kaysa yung ating budget para solusyonan ang traffic. It is not the lack of powers, but the lack of a more proactive stand. We need firmer actions from the executive who can very well function as it is if they want to. It all begins with pukpok talaga ang kailangan. Alam niyo po, hindi dahil sa ayaw ko masolusyonan ng traffic, kaya marami nagsasabi, kasalanan daw namin na walang emergency powers. Dahil ang emergency powers daw ang makakapagbigay ng solusyon sa traffic. Sa atin po mga kababayan, katulad nga ng sinabi ng mga advocacy groups para sa pasahero, ako rin po 4 na oras ang ginugugol sa traffic. At an average every day, 2 hours, 2.5 hours pa uwi, tapos yung mga ibang pinupuntahan. Sino ba naman ang ayaw masolusyonan yan? Kung talagang ginusto, gagamitin ko rin po ang ginamit ninyo, Secretary. Kung gusto may paraan, kung ayaw may dahilan. Pwede po natin gamitin sa isa't isa yan. Pero ang masasabi ko po ay ito. May mga bagay po na kahit walang emergency powers, katulad nitong MRT, na dapat nasolusyonan na kayang solusyonan na wala yan. At may mga bagay rin na kahit na may emergency powers, kung hindi rin mabilis ang aksyon katulad sa Marawi, ay hindi rin magkakaroon ng pagtugon. At meron namang lugar na walang emergency powers katulad ng Boracay, kung saan nalinis ng 6 na buwan. So, sa ngayon, maganda ang ating naging diskusyon na nakita natin. Meron pala na pag-uusap. Ang korte pala minsan ang nagiging balakid. Pero meron tayong kortesiya at separate branches of government. So, sa ngayon, kung hihingi tayo ng emergency powers, pagtuunan natin talaga ng pansin, razor sharp, ano ba talaga yon? Parang korte na eh. 'Di ba? Kasi may procurement. Pwede pala. Merong emergency procurement na pinapayagan, merong right of way. So sa korte pala nababara? Ganun ba yon? So yun na ngayon ang ating pag-uusap sa ating technical working group. Nabanggit ko na yung technical working group at ako po ay medyo sinabihan, bakit walang technical working group? Kasi naman, yung binigay sa aming listahan na pinapa-whittle down namin to the essentials only ay hindi nagawa. Kaya napuna din tayo ng ating mga kasamahan dito na sabi nga ni Senator Gordon, parang what we need to do is drain the pond. Aba, para daw magkaroon ng emergency powers, napaka-exhaustive. Kaya nga po, sa ngayon, nais kong sabihin sa ating mga kababayan, lahat po tayo iisa ang ating hangarin ay magkaroon ng mas magandang buhay kasama ng ating mga mahal sa buhay at maging produktibo sa ating trabaho. At mag-uumpisa din yan kung maging maayos ang daloy ng trapiko at transportasyon. So with that, I would like to get your commitment, MMDA, to work. Let's begin, Quezon City. How can we deploy the 30 buses that they are requesting? After you get the injunction lifted from the courts at magkakaroon itong provincial bus ban, please identify first Chairman Delgra, ano yung 4 na terminals within EDSA na papayagan nyo? Kasi doon pupunta yung mga pasahero in the meantime na mawawala yung ibang mga terminals dito. At ang technical working group, Secretary Tugade, padala po kayo, mag-uumpisa na talaga tayo, I think, within every week mag-meeting para magkaroon tayo ng mas maayos na solusyon dito sa traffic. At sana pag kayo inimbitahan, dahil hindi naman ako palagi naghihiring, ay dumalo kayo. Maraming salamat po. This hearing is now adjourned.